Happy New Year, everyone, from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, home of the Outback Bowl, the first football game of 2008. Matching 18th ranked Wisconsin, the Badgers are 9-3. They'll take on 16th ranked Tennessee. The Vols 9-4. It's not often we get to say in this business, good morning, everyone, but good morning and welcome to Tampa. Delighted to have you with us for this annual matchup between the Big Ten and the SEC. And whenever these conferences get together, the big question is always raised. Does the Big Ten have enough speed to match up? Based on Ohio State's loss to Florida in the national championship game a year ago, a lot of people say no. But a look at the numbers says yes. If you go back over the last 8 seasons, the Big Ten and SEC have matched up 22 times in bowl games. They've split 11 wins apiece, and in the last 3 years the Big Ten has the upper hand 5-3, including 2 wins for Wisconsin over the SEC in the last 2 years. The Badgers with wins in the Capital One Bowl each of the last 2 seasons over Auburn and Arkansas.
Well, I talked to Brett Bielema about this, and he says, yeah, he understands that Tennessee especially has speed. They have speed on the edges, receiver, pass rushers, running back, absolutely, but they feel very confident when they play SEC teams, as the record proves out. Now you go to Coach Fulmer, and he said, I don't know where they get this about the Big Ten. I look at their linebackers, Levy and Casillas. They can run as good as any linebackers in the SEC. And by the way, last year against Penn State, we still haven't caught Tony Hunt. So both teams have athletes. It's college football. They're premier programs and premier conferences. All the talk is done. Let us get it going down there on the field, and we'll find out who's tougher. Let's look at that.
Well, it would help the Big Ten and Wisconsin's cause if P.J. Hill is fully healthy today. Let's get more on that from Rob Stone.
Well, Happy New Year to you too, Sean. P.J. Hill will play today, will not start. Just 5 touches in his last 3 games. What he has is a severe left leg bruise, which essentially sits on a plate that was inserted his freshman year to help a broken leg heal. Now, if you look at Hill, you probably can't see it from this angle right now, but his left lower leg taped up with what they call elasticon, a stronger tape that provides more support, especially higher up. He also has a little pad on the side of it. I talked with offensive coordinator Paul Christer in warm-ups. He was talking to PJ. He said, hey, PJ, you're here. Let's find out if you're back, Sean. They hope to get at least 12 touches out of him today, and told us we could see him utilized as early as their first series.
All right, Rob, thank you. They are deep and talented at running back. Wisconsin, traditionally a strong running team, 19th in the nation in rushing. The Badgers won the toss and deferred, so Tennessee will receive the opening kickoff. Dennis Rogan, the true freshman, averaging 30 yards per kickoff return, trying to take the boot. He'll down it about 4 yards deep in the end zone. The starting lineup presented by Yellow Book. Introducing the Tennessee starting lineup, former quarterback, now Congressman Heath Shuler.
When the Congress of the Volunteer offense gather, they look for one clear leader, senior quarterback Eric Ainge. Expect him to delegate the ball to running back Aaron Foster, protecting the borders and holding the line. The armed forces up front. This band of brothers have allowed just 4 sacks all season. Let's go, Vols. I'm Heath Shuler, and I approve this message.
Just elected the 11th District of North Carolina. Of course, Heath Shuler, the 3rd overall pick in the NFL draft at quarterback in 1994. His Vols up 1st and 10 from their own 20. Led by Eric Ainge, the 5th-year senior at quarterback. And here's Arian Foster, 1,000-yard rusher, a flag down as Foster goes out of bounds at the 40. Gain of 20, but there is a flag on the play.
And they're going to get Josh Briscoe tackling, basically tackling and clotheslining Ben Strickland.
Mountain West Conference officiating crew led by Scott Novak.
He didn't really need to go. He just had to give his body position, and Foster would have done the rest. Strickland had a bad angle. Just hang with him. Get your body in front of him. He's been all right.
Eric Ainge has had a good year. 300 completions is the single-season school record. He broke Peyton Manning's mark. Threw for 3,157 yards. But David Cutcliffe, the offensive coordinator, said had it not been for injuries to his shoulder and finger and knee, he believes Ainge could have had about a 3,800-yard season. Penalty walk-off back to the 12. Arian Foster carries out to the 15-yard line. Now the Yellow Book starting lineups on defense for Wisconsin, introduced by Cambridge, Wisconsin native NASCAR driver Matt Kenseth.
Up front, it starts with senior Nick Hayden running his final race for the Badgers today. At linebacker, Jonathan Casillas leads the team in collisions. And in the backfield, Jack Aikiguanu is the man to shut him down. Sean, Chris, Happy New Year, boys.
Thank you very much, Matt. Ainge, a play-action pass on 2nd and 15. He's going deep and incomplete over the head of Josh Briscoe. With Ben Strickland in coverage.
And Ben Strickland's stepping up for Aaron Henry, who was hurt in training or camp down here for bowl practice, and they figured you attack him. You get the young guy out there. Ben Strickland, a 5th-year senior, not a regular starter, holding his own. Good position by Ben.
3rd down and 15 now. Tennessee playing without their leading receiver, Lucas Taylor, with 73 catches for 1,000 yards coming in. He's one of 6 volunteers sitting out for an academic suspension. He's the headliner on offense among those suspended. Ainge fires, almost intercepted, threw it right into the hands of Javery McFadden, a backup linebacker. And Ainge fortunate to get away with that one. He threw 2 critical interceptions in their 1-touchdown loss in the SEC championship game against LSU. Looked at this as a chance to atone.
Yeah, and he starts with the pressure up front, and McFadden in perfect position off the timing route. A lot of times Tennessee's passing games based on timing. McFadden got the depth on 3rd and long and was able to undercut the skinny post.
Britton Colquitt, the junior, to punt. David Dilreath, talented freshman return man, retreating and does not get away. Tackled immediately by Quentin Hancock. 41-yard punt. Loss of 2 on the return. Here's Matt Kenseth with the Wisconsin offense.
Badger offense. First, the man in the pole position, the quarterback, Tyler Donovan. And when he wants to put the hammer down, he looks to the number 9 car, tight end Travis Beckham. Then check out the road graders up front. They average 6'6" and 310 pounds. If I had these guys clearing the way for me, I wouldn't lose a race. Center Marcus Coleman makes his 26th straight start today. Keep it in high gear today, Wisconsin.
Coleman, first team all Big Ten at center. From the 41, Donovan hands it off to Zach Brown. Part of that running back by committee we expect to see. He goes for 8. Tyler Donovan is the quarterback, 5th-year senior, first year as the full-time starter. Backed up John Stocco a year ago. Out of Heartland, Wisconsin. 2,452 yards passing this year. Only Stocco with more in a single season. John threw for 2,920 in 2005.
And Tyler makes a lot of plays with his feet. He improvises, makes things happen from the quarterback position. No doubt about it.
Donovan tripped up and sacked back at the 41-yard line by Xavier Mitchell. Their leading tackler among the defensive linemen, senior from Long Beach, Mississippi.
You see what Xavier hits him with right here, coming in from the defensive end position on Outback. First of all, he gets a good get off on the ball, hands inside. Once the hands gets inside for a defensive lineman, he wins the battle. He comes with the push uppercut. Outback no match for the pass rush move of Xavier Mitchell. Hands inside, wins every time.
They're also depleted along that defensive front. DeMonte Bolden, who would be a starting defensive tackle among the 6 sitting out. The academic suspension for the Vols. On 3rd down, Donovan has his man Paul Hubbard. First down, fumbles. And it's recovered by Tennessee. D'Angelo Willingham picked up the free ball and brought it back to the 34-yard line.
Anytime you're in a big football game, turnovers are costly. Paul Hubbard does a good job. D'Angelo falls down at first, does a good job of getting up and hustling. But you have Nevin McKenzie coming from behind, hustling to make the tackle and strip the football. Paul Hubbard, ball security. It looks like the ball was secure, but they did a good job of stripping it and tackling the football. Second man in, tackles the ball, exactly what Tennessee did.
Eric Berry knocked it out. Here come the Vols for the second time in a scoreless game. Ainge on the run, and it's incomplete. Dropped by Denarius Moore, who will likely see more playing time today without Lucas Taylor. Taylor just the 5th volunteer to have 1,000 yards receiving in a season for Coach Philip Fulmer in his 16th season as head coach at his alma mater, the winningest coach in the country by percentage at 764 among those with a minimum of 10 years. 7-7 all-time in bowl games. They lost here in the Outback last year to Penn State. Foster stopped to the line, perhaps even a loss of a yard. Matthew Shaughnessy, a fine defensive end junior from Norwich, Connecticut, made the tackle.
Well, Wisconsin's powerful up front. They got a bunch of battlers up there. Shaughnessy obviously had a great year. Schofield getting in one of his first starts is in there making plays too. They changed the line of scrimmage on the front 5 of Tennessee that particular play.
3rd down and 11. Eric Ainge takes a shotgun snap. Under duress, got it off, caught. 1st down and more. Denarius Moore off to the races. And tripped up from behind at the 27-yard line by Jonathan Casillas, who saved the touchdown. A 40-yard gain for Tennessee.
Nice job of Eric Ainge buying time in the pocket, moving his feet, keeping his feet active and eyes down the field. Has a nice throwing lane. And you see, wait there. There's the ball thrown on a tough throw. Nettles had good position, but he couldn't make the play. He was late with his hands, and you see the ability to run after catch by the Volunteers.
Both teams have had injuries in the secondary that have hurt them this year. Foster, the ball carrier, shoved out of bounds by Casillas. And in the bowl practice leading up to this game, Wisconsin lost the true freshman Aaron Henry, who had stepped in to start at corner for Brett Bielema when Alan Langford went down with an injury against Ohio State. So it's a couple of backups, primarily special teams players. Josh Nettles, number 28, and Ben Strickland, number 3, who will play the bulk of the corner opposite Ikaguanu today.
And Josh Nettles, actually, Sean, had pretty decent coverage there. That was a well-thrown ball by Ainge. Found a window and fit it through.
2nd and 6. Foster, nice bounce to the outside to the right. And he appears to have the 1st down. There's Ben Strickland, 5th-year senior, team captain. Primarily a special teams player, but making his 2nd career start at cornerback out of Brookfield, Wisconsin. A walk-on who became the first non-starter to be voted a team captain at Wisconsin since Carl McCullough back in 1997.
Get an opportunity to play his final game from Wisconsin. I tell you, he made a heck of a play right there, defeating a blocker in space and tackling a big man, Arian Foster, in space.
Foster circled back a bit, cost himself the 1st down. So now it's Ainge at 6'6", 220 pounds, powering for the 1st down to the 17-yard line.
Eric Ainge, anytime you have that type of size of quarterback, inches to go, you sneak it. You have big, powerful guys up front. You got to be able to believe that their big guys can move the front big guys on Wisconsin for a couple inches. And Eric Ainge really seemed focused when we met with him in the meetings about wanting to really make amends for the SEC championship game. Right now, he's off to a good start.
He threw 2 interceptions in the last 10 minutes against LSU in the SEC title game. The first one with just under 10 minutes to go was returned for a touchdown that gave LSU the lead. Then Tennessee was driving to reclaim the lead. They were in the red zone when Ainge threw another INT. Here's Foster with a 1st down. He lowered his shoulder, went out of bounds at the 3. Bounced into Shane Carter. We spoke with Chris Brown on the Vols yesterday. They used the word roller coaster to describe it. They started out 1-2 and got hammered by Cal and Florida, but then went on a 3-game winning streak. The biggest win of the year against Georgia. They lost to Alabama. Philip Fulmer had a memorable team meeting on the next night, and they won 5 in a row to get into the SEC championship game, led in the 4th quarter before losing to LSU. 5th appearance in the SEC championship game the last 11 years for the Vols. Ainge into the end zone, too high, over the head of Brad Cottom. They play a lot of 2 tight end sets. Cottom and Chris Brown, both capable receivers. Cottom missed the first 9 games of the year with a wrist injury.
Cottom was wide open. Why? Because he pushed off on a receiver, the receiver fell down, and Eric Ainge, I think, got a little bit excited and overthrew that football. That was just a little pitch and catch from about 6 yards away. Would have been 6. And that when you're in a big game and all the excitement of the bowls, you get a little excited. Just keep settling down out there and make a play, just like practice.
Gerald Jones has come in at quarterback. Generally, he runs, and he runs in the end zone for a first down and a touchdown.
You see the power right there. Schofield has a chance to come in, but he gets his head on the back side of Gerald Jones. Here comes Schofield. He's going to shoot in right there. Watch him. The head's on the back side, and Jones says, "You got nothing for me. I'm a quarterback, and I run right through that tackle because the head was on the back side. He's only tackling with a half a man." He puts that head across the bow. He has a chance, but Gerald Jones, excellent vision, and he sees that end zone, and you see that burst and determination. Ooh, man, deliver the blow and get in there.
And he's just 6 feet, 185 pounds, a wide receiver ordinarily. He had 2 carries out of the quarterback position against LSU in the title game, went for 39 yards. They also have a backup quarterback, Jonathan Crompton, who comes in when they're looking for quarterback runs. Anthony Parker, all-conference offensive lineman, limped off. Now the freshman Daniel Lincoln adds the extra point, and Tennessee is first on the board. 3-yard touchdown run by Gerald Jones. 66-yard drive, and Tennessee leads 7-0.
Nick, that was a 10-straight killer presentation, an amazing string of new business wins. How do you explain this sudden increase in productivity?
I've just been working really hard.
People are saying that this surge in productivity just isn't natural.
Hey, you know, guy has a great year, breaks a few sales records. You guys just assume the worst.
You have been uncannily productive, Nick.
Nick, some are speculating that you're using productivity enhancers.
That's it, I'm done.
Nick, how do you explain it?
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? And here's what she said to me.
The XPS-1, powered by an Intel Core 2 dual processor. Dell, yours is here.
My own Capital One credit card. Set rewards to cash back.
Yes, master.
And a low interest rate.
Oh, and I want that photo of me and Astrid.
Yes, that's it. Now hit the switch! It's alive!
No, it's not. Well, not literally. It's not.
Introducing Capital One Card Lab. Customize your card by choosing your rewards, interest rate, even upload your own image at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
High School All-America game presented by ESPNU. Saturday at 2 on ABC.
Hi, I'm Jeff Smith, president of Outback Steakhouse. We are extremely proud of our long-standing relationship with the Outback Bowl. The 2008 Outback Bowl helps us kick off a year-long celebration as we celebrate our 20th anniversary. And to all of the Outbackers that have made this dream possible, we'd like to say thank you for all of your hard work and dedication. So from all of us at Outback Steakhouse, we'd like to say,
let's go Wisconsin! Let's go Tennessee! Let's go Outback!
And we welcome you back to ESPN's College Football. Today's broadcast brought to you in high definition, presented by Olivia HD. Just under a capacity crowd, more than 60,000 expected for just the second meeting ever between Tennessee and Wisconsin. They met in the 1981 Garden State Bowl. A Volunteers win. 70 degrees today. That's a little bit cooler than it's been. These teams have enjoyed perfect weather, typically right around 80 degrees all week. The Badgers have enjoyed that. They've had a very snowy December back home in Madison. Here's David Gilreath, the freshman, record-setting return man for the Badgers. And it looked like he might have been face masked as Britton Colquitt, the kicker, brought him out of bounds. There is a flag now to the end of the play. 60-yard return for Gilreath.
Well, the freshman All-American does something. Anytime he gets his hands on the ball, he has the ability to make something happen. And Brett Bielema coaches the special teams himself. And you see the setup is perfect. He's not touched. And look at Colquitt coming with the speed and a little nastiness grabbing the face mask. But that's exactly what Wisconsin needed. You get punched in the mouth, you better counter quickly. If you don't, Tennessee has the delivery, the knockout blow, but yet they come back and give themselves excellent field position.
Big return by the true freshman Gilreath from New Hope, Minnesota. As Chris mentioned, Brett Bielema this year decided to coach all of the special team units himself, and he's really enjoyed it. Feels like he's much more involved day to day with his players. But now they call me coach. I'm not just that figurehead who stands over there. I'm actually coaching them up. And he's done a good job. Their special teams have been very good this year in almost every area. They lead the Big Ten in kickoff coverage. The kickoff return and the penalty all the way to the 22 of Tennessee. And here's Zach Brown again, freshman from Royal Palm, Florida. Ahead for a couple. Let's meet the Tennessee defense, introduced by Congressman Heath Schuler.
Tennessee defense is stout up front with Dan Williams and Xavier Mitchell. And force and policy behind them roams one of SEC's leading tacklers, Gerard Mayo. And on the last line of defense, watch true freshman Eric Berry. I now yield the floor to the distinguished gentleman from Ohio and Massachusetts.
Talk about us?
I don't know. I was looking around to see who he was talking to.
First time we've been referred to as distinguished, but it's a new year. Here's Lance Smith. First down inside the 10-yard line. He's a tailback, their number 3 rusher on the season behind P.J. Hill and Zach Brown. That's good for a 10-yard gain for Smith. They say he might be their most complete running back.
Well, they want to get him in the ball game and get Zach Brown in the ball game with him. A little bit of a different look. And Coach Chris must have been watching Oregon State the other night at the Emerald Bowl with that fly sweep. That play was put in particular for Lance Smith to get him on the edge because of his speed.
This is his first game away from Madison this year. Smith suspended for the 5 road games this season by the university. Donovan, the end zone, incomplete. Broken up by Brent Vinson. Kyle Jefferson, the intended receiver. Vinson, a true freshman cornerback who, because of all the injuries they've had in the secondary, was moved from offense in the 3rd game of the year, and he's had a nice season.
Well, he does a good job of extending right here. The ball's late. Jefferson was open. He had the inside position. The ball's late. Allows Vincent to use his excellent makeup speed and get 2 hands on the football. Now, I would say to make a good play, a great play, you get 2 hands on the ball, young fella, even though you're a freshman. Make a play for your teammates in the state of Tennessee.
2nd and goal from just inside the 10. Zach Brown is the tailback. Chris Presley, the fullback, leading the way. Brown, powerful, down inside the 2. He's a tough runner. He and P.J. Hill tend to be the goal line short yardage backs. Lance Smith a bit better in the open field and space.
And this is where Tennessee has struggled all year, stopping the run. Not necessarily on the perimeters, but up the middle. Wisconsin knows that. Where's Wisconsin most powerful? Running the ball right up the middle with the old power roll play. You stick it up in there no matter what tailback's in there. True freshman Zach Brown, Lance Smith, P.J. Hill. Just follow those big hogs through the hole and you'll get positive yards.
201 rushing yards per game, the best for Wisconsin since 1999. John Chavis, the defensive coordinator, said this will not be one of our years that we'll remember defensively, but they played better the last half of the year. A flag down. Brown lunges for the end zone. Touchdown if it counts. And Brett Bielema is way out onto the field. He's out by the numbers at the 10-yard line.
Legal shift on the offense. 2 men moving at the same time, not resetting. 5-yard penalty. Play third down.
And the only reason I can think he can be down there, Sean, he's trying to get a timeout. He saw the shift and the mix-up in the formation. He started sprinting down the field to try to get the TO.
He better be careful. He's going to draw a flag, and now one of his assistants trying to bring him back.
Right there, 2 guys moving at the same time. It's a mental error. What does happen a lot of times in bowl games, you're away from the game competition. Yep.
So now they're back at the 7-yard line. Bielema way out on the field again to call a timeout.
Timeout, Wisconsin. First charge timeout of the first half.
Well, this was college basketball with the emphasis on the coach's box this year. He would have had a couple of technicals by now. Midway through the first quarter, 7-0 Volunteers.
So let it go for the moment. Let your worries drift away, 'cause here we're living for today. Let's go out back tonight.
Let go of the day. Go out back tonight. Where fresh salmon is grilled moist and tender, and the steaks are thick and juicy. Your only worry is which to choose.
Let's go out back tonight.
Tonight, let go.
Life will still be there tomorrow.
Go out back.
Blu-ray movies on PlayStation 3, starting at $3.99.
You hear car, and what comes to mind? Okay, that's not car. And it's not 2 tons of metal, glass, and rubber. Car. The reason you got your license in the first place. The way you felt about your first car. It makes a kid pick up a crayon. And toy companies make these out of one of these. Car is why we'll stop for a chase scene. Or go just to go. It's back seats and rear-wheel drive. Car is passion, emotion, and yes, even a little vanity. Because unlike other vehicles, car is all about you. And car is what makes a Pontiac a Pontiac. Whether it's the Solstice GXP, G6 GXP Coupe, or coming this spring, the first ever Pontiac G8 GT, the most powerful car under 30 grand.
Tampa, Wisconsin thought they may have been able to tie it up. Brett Bielema still barking at the officials, Sean and Chris, during that timeout, saying he had called a timeout prior to that snap, saying it cost us a touchdown. The officials, their point of contention, they were busy watching the snap, guys.
I can only think that's the only reason why he takes a sprint out of the coach's box past the 25-yard line down to the B line on the officials to get a TO.
Well, if he does it again, at the very least, they'll get a sideline warning here. Bielema off to a tremendous start, 21-4 for the 37-year-old head coach, former defensive coordinator. 3rd and goal, Wisconsin, looking for a tying touchdown. Donovan runs, touchdown! The ball's out, but he's in the end zone.
He took a shot.
And he is still down, holding his head. Brett Bielema said the thing he appreciates most about his quarterback is toughness, and he makes plays often with his feet. He made a big play on the run here to perhaps tie the game if they get the extra point. What a shot he took from Eric Berry.
Yeah, Eric Berry coming in on the angle, and he's very vulnerable because he's going in head first and he tucks his head. But you're right, he showed his ability with his feet and his toughness. And good shot by Berry. He's trying to do everything to cut him off. Donovan gets up. I hope he's okay. Looks like he got the cobwebs.
Isn't that helmet to helmet?
Well, I don't think it was incidental, though. I mean, or accidental. He comes and he's trying to make a play. It looked like his shoulder, and he turned his head away from that. He tried to lead with his shoulder, but it was a great shot by Eric Berry.
Now Taylor Melhoff, senior from Aberdeen, South Dakota, adds the extra point. 6-yard touchdown run by Tyler Donovan, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. They're checking him out.
Dwayne, you need to dress better, because I'm putting you at my fave 5.
This is great news, Chuck. You would not be sorry. I gotta call my mom, man. She loves you. Ma, this your little Pookie. I got some great news. Yes, Ma, he put me in. Yes, Chuck.
Dwayne, Pookie? Nobody named Pookie getting in my fave 5.
Who's in your fave 5?
I'm gonna have to call you back.
What is a Pookie anyway?
I have no idea. My fave's from T-Mobile. Unlimited calls to your 5 favorite people.
At this year's Winter X Games, we know it's important what you watch. And it's just as important what you watch it on. For the first time ever, see Winter X Games 12 in high-quality, high-definition on an Olivia HD TV. The perfect combination. Go to ESPN.com, search Olivia to find out more. Winter X Games 12, January 24th through the 27th, live on ESPN and ABC.
The foundation of any solid structure is the key to a building's strength. The same is true with advertising your business. You need an advertising partner who will not just make a sale, they'll make a difference. The professionals of Suddenlink Media have been building advertising partnerships with business owners for over 20 years. They're known for their ability to design effective, affordable advertising campaigns. Find out why so many business owners use cable television as their foundation for success in their advertising plans. Call Suddenlink Media today to begin building your foundation for success.
Who are the toughest men and women in the tri-state area? Coors Light and 84 Lumber present the 20th annual Original Tough Man Contest. Welcome by WTCR, WAMX, and Network West Virginia. It's coming this Friday and Saturday night to Huntington's Big Sandy Superstore Arena. Good seats are still available. Call 1-800-296-3897. That's 1-800-296-3897. Tough it out.
ESPN College Football, the Outback Bowl, is brought to you by Outback Steakhouse. Let go of the day. Go Outback tonight. PlayStation 3. Get ready to play beyond. And the first ever G8 from Pontiac, the official performance machine of the NCAA.
And welcome back to Tampa, Florida. And the 22nd Outback Bowl started off as the Hall of Fame Bowl years ago. Tyler Donovan with the game-tying touchdown, and a tough run by a tough guy. Apparently took a shoulder from Eric Berry there in the head.
Yeah, he did take a shot, but he shows his toughness. That's what he's been like his whole career. Anytime he's had an opportunity to play, he's made a play.
His parents are here, Brenda and Brian. His mom, a good athlete, played softball at UW Oshkosh. He says, I get my athletic ability from my mom's side of the family. She has 4 brothers who are good athletes. The dad, Brian, played high school football. Brian says he wishes his son would slide and run out of bounds more often, but that's not the way his son is wired. Here's Dennis Rogan returning the kickoff for Tennessee out to the 23. Tripped up by Tyler Holland. Of course, Donovan has a history of toughness. At Arrowhead High School in Wisconsin, his senior year, they made the state championship game. The day before the game, in a walkthrough in street clothes, they were running through a play. A lineman pulled and went the wrong way, and they collided, and Tyler tore his left ACL and played in the game the next day, and had surgery 2 weeks later.
It's amazing. I could imagine the brace on that thing. I don't know how effective he was running the football, but his arm strength is pretty darn good also.
Eric Ainge out throwing, has Josh Briscoe out to the 30-yard line for a gain of 7. Here's Rob Stone.
Sean, during that timeout, the Wisconsin medical staff put Donovan through the whole range of all those concussion-type tests, you know, finger to nose and touching the fingertip to somebody else, checking his eyes, checking the mobility of his head, checking the strength of his neck and his shoulders, passed everything. It was actually a very quick test, no problem. So he's got the headset back on. He's ready to go. But interesting, the offensive line coming off after that hit, lines like tasteless and cheap shot were being thrown around.
It hasn't taken long to work up some venom between these Big Ten and SEC teams. Montario Hardesty off to the races for Tennessee. And out of bounds at the 44-yard line of Wisconsin. 26 yards on the gain. Shane Carter made the tackle.
Where Wisconsin has struggled is poor tackling. And you see the poor tackling right now. Sometimes with the layoff, you'll miss it. Chris Brown is going to get a nice lead block right here. Casillas stops his momentum. Elijah Hodge was the guy that has to make the play. He's the free running player to the ball. And when you come in and grab people as opposed to running people, these Tennessee backs will make you miss and put you on their highlight film.
Hardesty stays in the game. He's going to back up to Foster this year. Chris Brown, the tight end, came in motion. And it's Hardesty straight ahead. For 2, tackled by Nick Hayden, the only senior starter on this defense. They had an inconsistent year defensively, did Wisconsin, after a great year on defense last year. We spoke with Brett Bielema's coordinator yesterday. Mike Hankwitz said expectations were high. We had 7 starters back, but we came to appreciate how important the 4 guys we lost from a year ago were. And then they had injuries that compounded it. The numbers significantly worse defensively than they were a year ago. But they were better in the second half of the year. Quentin Hancock's wide open. He has a first down for the Vols. Down to the 17-yard line. 25 more against Mike Hankwitz's defense. What a terrific coach he has, coaching in his 23rd bowl game. Michigan grad who played for Bo Schembechler on their 1969 Big Ten title team.
And the leadership you're talking about was leadership in the secondary. Guys are getting improving as the year goes on, but still they miss the angles of the safeties that they take, and they're just still learning how to play the game in the back end.
Hardesty cut back to the left, down at the 13-yard line, tackled by Elijah Hodge, the younger brother of Abdul Hodge, the former Iowa star who went on to the Green Bay Packers.
This is where Wisconsin did not want to happen this early in the ball game, where Tennessee establishing a running game, even the threat of the run, because that just makes the play action game, I know it's cliche, but it's true, much more in play. And if you give Eric Ainge time, he's one of the most accurate passers in college football.
Very tight line formation there. Lennon Creer looked like Ainge tried to hand it to him. The ball got knocked out, and Nick Hayden has recovered for Wisconsin. So Tennessee went into the bag of tricks and outsmarted themselves. They turn it over.
Why? Why go into it, Sean? You don't have to go into it. Right here, they're going to sneak the ball to him. Lennon Creer right there. You don't need to do this. Wisconsin can see him back there. You're moving the ball, Run your offense. This early in the game, don't reach into the bag until you need to go into the bag. Wisconsin, excellent job of recognizing and making a play.
You go in the bag of tricks and you hand it to a guy from behind between his legs. And Jonathan Casillas knocked it out. Hayden recovered. So a costly turnover for the Vols. Tyler Donovan is at quarterback after taking that shot in the head on the touchdown in their last possession.
I can understand doing that if you're not moving the football, but you're moving the ball normally.
And P.J. Hill now, their leading rusher, 1,000-yard rusher for the year, is in.
All-star on the offense. Number 63, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Craig Urbick, outstanding offensive lineman, taking his 40th straight start along the offensive line for Wisconsin today.
It'll be interesting to see how the offensive line responds. As Rob reported, they came off and didn't like the shot that Barry gave their quarterback. Well, do something about it. Let's see if they start moving this pile of orange shirts backwards.
Hill played sparingly in the last 3 games at running back. Did not play at all in 2 out of the 3 with a leg bruise. He's a bruising runner. Rushed for over 1,500 yards last year as a freshman. Just over 1,000 this year. Gerard Mayo tackled him. He got the penalty yardage back, a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Gerard Mayo's a good football player. John Chavis told us he's been as good as anyone we've had here, and he understands that that's a big statement. You're talking about Al Wilson and a great tradition of Tennessee linebackers, and Gerard has been as good as anyone. Probably will be, I would imagine, if he decides to come out, probably a first-round pick.
In speculation, he might come out. He's a junior, but he has graduated from the University of Tennessee. When we asked him yesterday, he said, I'm totally neutral. I have really no strong leaning one way or the other. Hill across the 20, and he's about 4 yards shy of the first down. Here's Rob.
We'll follow up on Gerard Mayo, and he prefers to play that weak side linebacker position. That's a good thing, because that's where the NFL scouts project him to play. The junior's productive. He's athletic. Could go in the second round, according to ESPN Scout Saints Todd McShay. In a few days, Coach Frommler is actually going to travel to his Hampton, Virginia home, speak to him and his family about the pro prospects of coming out. Mayo told us he's actually anticipating a bit of a sales pitch to stay in Knoxville for his senior year. Fulmer says if you're a 15 to 20 pick in the top 20, go. If not, stay.
Andy Rock, 3rd down and 4. Donovan hit as he throws, and it is caught by Garrett Graham, the backup tight end. Donovan took another shot and again is slow to get up, but he completed it. And that's another typical Tyler Donovan play for a 1st down, a gain of 7.
And this is what Tyler will do. His toughness is he's going to hang until the last second and deliver the ball, understanding that the contact is coming. And Elix Wilson gave him the shot, blitzing from his middle linebacker position. But that, you know, he's a tough kid, a tough quarterback, so will hang there as long as they can to let the route develop to its fullest down the field. His mom and dad don't like the shots he's taking.
Yeah, Brenda is agonizing. P.J. Hill rumbles close to another 1st down. Ryan Carl made the tackle. The linebackers playing with a chip bone in his elbow, an injury suffered in the SEC title game against LSU. He didn't play in the second half against the Tigers. 9-yard gain for P.J. Hill, the sophomore from East Elmhurst, New York.
You see a little sparkle in his eye and a bounce in his step. He hasn't played, and you know, as the next player, I used to remember we refer to these guys as fresh legs. When a guy has fresh legs, he's going to run to prove something right there. He hit Hefney, the safety from Tennessee, and threw him out of the saloon about 15 yards.
Paul Christ, the offensive coordinator, told us P.J. Hill's practiced very well leading up to the bowl game. He just wondered about his conditioning. He hasn't played in game situations full time since mid-November. Hill carries for a 1st down to the 24-yard or the 42-yard line, rather. And 3 talented running backs. Lance Smith, 406 yards, but remember, he did not play in 5 games this year due to the university-imposed suspension for an off-the-field incident.
Zach Brown was a nice surprise for them, the true freshman. And they really didn't know what to expect out of Florida. He's come in and done a great job, and that's what Wisconsin does, though. A lot of it's obviously because of the offensive line.
Here's Hill again. This certainly is not running as if he's injured. Out to the 48-yard line. Tackled by Brent Vinson. Well, Wisconsin, off a 12-1 year last year, started brilliantly this year, 5-0. They went up to number 5 in the polls. Then played poorly in back-to-back losses at Illinois and Penn State, but bounced back, winning 4 of the next 5, including a home win against Michigan, the only loss in that stretch to Ohio State. They finished 4th in the Big Ten to go to a bowl game for the 6th year in a row and the 13th time in the last 15 years. They are 9-3 in those 12 bowl games. Zach Brown, the ball carrier. Their flags down. And the interesting fact, Chris, is the last game of the regular season seems to dictate the bowl result. When Wisconsin has won their final regular season game in the last 12 years, they've won the bowl game. When they've lost the regular season finale, they've lost the bowl game. This year they beat Minnesota, so they hope that's a good omen today.
There's no foul in the play for illegal formation. 3rd down.
Well, that's what Barry Alvarez started. I mean, Barry Alvarez has an excellent bowl record himself. And don't forget, in that Ohio State game, Wisconsin was up in the 4th quarter in that ball game, and all of a sudden Ohio State took over. But they're always a good football team. You know what they are, and they know what they are. More importantly, they pound the football.
This is their 5th straight bowl game against an SEC opponent, and they've won their last 2 here in the state of Florida, the Capital One Bowl. Beat Arkansas last year. Timeout. We're next to the Wisconsin coaches, and they are not happy about the issues they're having.
It's a mental error, Sean. A mental error.
Tampa Bay, come play.
It's time for fans to decide who will win the Pontiac game-changing performance of the year.
John Parker Wilson looks left, throws. He finds a man in the end zone. Not to go. Touchdown, Alabama! There's the snap, the place, the kick is up. The kick is long enough. The kick is good! Good! See you later, alligator! Tigers win, 20-17!
37-yard field goal. This is it. Snap's good. The whole. Kick! Oh! The kick is. The Mountaineers have just beat the Michigan Wolverines.
Go to Pontiac.com/NCAA and view the biggest plays from the season. Vote for your favorite, and the winning school will win a $100,000 scholarship from Pontiac.
Disciplined investing. It isn't about star fund managers. At T. Rowe Price, it's about experienced investment teams that stay the course. For each 3, 5, and 10-year period, over 70% of our mutual funds beat their Lipper average. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
One of the great annual bowl activities here at the Outback, Beach Day. Aerial coverage of the Outback Bowl, courtesy of the Outback Steakhouse Airship. Bloomin' Onion One, which specializes in college football and PGA golf coverage. Look for the Bloomin' Onion at sporting events throughout 2008. Flying overhead, the great city of Tampa, Florida, and the Tampa Bay area. The Outback folks, bowl organizers, do a wonderful job. Both teams talking about what a great experience they've had here. Trips to Busch Gardens. The Badgers went to the Tampa Bay Lightning hockey game the other night. Donovan under duress. His experience went downhill in a hurry. Robert Ayers with the second sack for Tennessee here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Robert Ayers beat the freshman Karimi at 6'8". Dude, this is two sacks from the defensive ends. Here he comes. He hits them all with a nice slap inside move. Karimi gets overextended to the outside. You give him a little shake and bake and hit that inside gap. I'll tell you what, if you're going to go inside like that, you better get the sack, because if Donovan would have poked it, he would have popped outside and got the first down with his feet.
Ken DeBush, 4-year starting punter. Had a terrific career for Wisconsin. I believe second all-time in punting average behind only Kevin Stemke. DeBush has averaged over 42 yards per punt in his career. And Dennis Rogan stopped immediately by Josh Nettles. 46-yard punt by DeBush. And no yardage on the return, so 15 seconds to go in an entertaining first quarter.
46-yard.
And the Badgers and Vols tied at 7. Matchup of two of the great fight songs in college athletics on Wisconsin and Rocky Top.
Yeah, we've heard Rocky Top quite a few times, and I'm sure we'll hear it a few more times before the game is over.
Ontario Hardesty will begin this series as the running back. They're a one-back team. Pass incomplete, and that's interesting because I think a lot of people think of Tennessee as a power I formation team, and Philip Fulmer, when we visited yesterday, said that's not true. We haven't lined up in two backs in about 2 years.
Well, yeah, and I think you can still run the power offense, and they do have some two formation type teams, but you have a quarterback like Eric Ainge, and remember they're without Lucas Taylor, which really hurts them. David Cutcliffe,
longtime assistant coach, 19 years in a couple of stints on the staff for Tennessee. He'll be leaving after this game to become the head coach at Duke. Very excited about that opportunity. Philip Fulmer has been interviewing offensive coordinator candidates. Hardesty tackled by Elijah Hodge behind the line of scrimmage on the last play of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter.
First 15 minutes of 2008 in the books at the Outback Bowl. Wisconsin and Tennessee tied at 7.
get them when you're there. Let's go Outback tonight.
Let go of the day. Go Outback tonight. Where the steak is thick and juicy. The shrimp is grilled and sweet. The chicken, tender. Your only worry is which to choose.
Let's go Outback tonight.
Tonight, let go.
Life will still be there tomorrow.
Go Outback.
Every year about this time, something magical happens. The red tags come out for the Buick Pontiac GMC Red Tag event. Look for the red tag and your chance to get the best price of the season on 2008 Buick, Pontiac, and GMC models. And the price on that tag is the price you pay. With $1,000 red tag event bonus cash, get this low mileage lease on a 2008 Pontiac G6 for around $199 per month. Call for details. Hurry, the red tag event ends January 2nd. See your Buick Pontiac GMC dealer today.
The passage is intense, but if you complete the journey, you will find your destiny among the world's greatest warriors. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Get upriver into Burma that will help change people's lives.
Are you bringing any weapons?
Of course not.
You're not changing anything. You didn't kill for your country. You killed for yourself.
Rambo, rated R, in theaters January 25th.
The Rose Bowl game, Illinois versus USC, today at 4:30 Eastern on ABC.
7-7 as we head to the second quarter. On the field between quarters, the legendary Joe Montana presenting the first Joe Montana Award to the best high school quarterback in the nation, presented to Matt Barkley of Mater Dei High School in Santa Ana, California. Passed for over 3,500 yards this year and 35 touchdowns. He was also named the Gatorade National Football Player of the Year. The Joe Montana Award based on an evaluation by the DeBartolo Sports University Scouting Division of former college and NFL coaches. Third down and 11, Tennessee. It's on 13-yard line. First play of the second quarter. Eric Ainge for a first down. Gerald Jones, who scored their touchdown on a run when he lined up at quarterback, now with a big catch for 19 yards.
I don't understand the call by Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator. 3rd and 11, and you go man-to-man. Well, Tennessee adjusted. They were able to pick up the blitz, and you allow man-to-man coverage outside. Eric Ainge and those receivers will hurt you if you give them too much time.
Tennessee outgained Wisconsin 132-88 in the first quarter. Although Wisconsin had an edge in time of possession with 8 minutes and 54 seconds. That's not a surprise. Wisconsin #1 of the nation in time of possession with that strong running attack. Hardesty tackled by DeAndre Levy. Their flags down.
Flag came in late from the back judge.
Personal foul. Legal crackback block on the offense, number 4. 15-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And Gerald Jones.
And that's something where you got to stay high. If you're coming in, you got to block above the waist. Gerald Jones probably went a little bit too low. And a good job by the official picking that up for the player's safety.
Trooper Taylor, the wide receivers coach, among those coaches leaving the Tennessee staff after the bowl game. He's accepted the co-offensive coordinator position at Oklahoma State, replacing Larry Fedora, who left to become the head coach at Southern Miss. We mentioned David Cutcliffe, the offensive coordinator, is leaving. It's been widely reported that 2 other offensive assistants, Matt Luke and Kurt Roper, tight ends coach and running backs coach respectively, are leaving to go with David Cutcliffe to Duke. So they're going to have 4 offensive coaching positions to replace. Likely will. Here's Hardesty out of the backfield. He's out of bounds, short of a first down at the 37, about 4 yards shy of the marker. Here's Rob Stone with a special guest.
That's right, 3-time Super Bowl MVP Joe Montana joining us right now. And you've had a chance to watch these 2 senior quarterbacks. What's your initial impression of them?
Well, I like both of them. You know, one of the things that they have a tendency to do is a lot of quarterbacks just want to get the ball down the field all the time. They like to manage it, just like you just saw there. Nothing down the field. Don't be afraid to take that. You know, they just gained 6-7 yards, and you know, it's easier to call a second down play from 2nd and 3 than it is in 2nd and 10.
Your son Nathaniel is going to walk on as a quarterback at Notre Dame this season. What advice did you give him?
Have fun. You know, it's a lot of work. It's a big step up for him. You know, they didn't get a lot of chance to play in high school. Good size, good arm. But there's still a lot of work to be done. And it just has a great opportunity to go in there and have some fun, experience the joy of this game.
Obviously, a difficult name and difficult shoes to follow for Nathaniel. And why did you support his decision to go to a school that I know you love very much?
Well, you know, the decision was up to him. You know, he had a bunch of places that he could have gone, and we said, don't go to school for me, don't go to school for your mother or anybody else. You have to go to a place where you want to go, and he chose that. So we're happy about it.
I know you've been enjoying the Notre Dame Fighting Irish season so much this season. What's been your take on what happened?
Well, everybody has those ups and downs, and you know, Notre Dame hasn't had a year like that. But unfortunately, that happens to everyone, and everybody starts panicking. But you know, everybody has trust in Charlie and the ability of them to get players in there, and I think you'll see a big difference this year. I called it the preseason for this season coming up. So
nice, Joe. Thanks for your time and Happy New Year.
My pleasure.
Rob, thank you. No substitution for good genes. John Elway's son apparently is one of the top quarterback high school prospects in the country. Hardesty ran for a first down. Then Ains threw an incomplete pass, trying to set up a screen to Arian Foster, who's also a very good receiver. Elijah Hodge took him out of bounds across midfield at the Wisconsin 47-yard line. Well, both of these quarterbacks hope to play beyond today. Eric Ainge, the more highly touted of the 2, at 6'6". David Cutcliffe, of course, has coached Peyton Manning and Eli Manning in college, among other very talented quarterbacks. And David Cutcliffe said to us yesterday, Eric Ainge is better than a number of guys who are playing in the NFL right now. He believes Eric will have an NFL future.
I just think Eric needs to get into a camp and maybe get to some of these all-star games, and he does have all the tools to be an excellent NFL quarterback.
Eric said confidently, we visited him yesterday, if he can get to a bowl game or the combine where he can throw against the other top quarterbacks, he feels he'll demonstrate he's as good as they are. Austin Rogers, the intended receiver. The throw was a little bit too long. Ben Strickland, the coverage.
Well, that's where they're going. I mean, they're going after the new corner and Ben Strickland. And Ben Strickland so far has answered every challenge thrown his way.
Deep to receive for Wisconsin, number 85, David Gilreath.
So Britton Colquitt is on to punt. David Gilreath back deep with the second punt of the day from Colquitt. Fair catch made at the 12-yard line.
Fair catch by Gilreath at the 13.
The Outback Bowl from Tampa early in the second quarter. Wisconsin and Tennessee tied at 7.
Go online and watch Capital One Bowl Week live, or replay your favorite moments and catch the games you missed. ESPN360.com. Log on today.
Why did we give the new C-Class almost 260 foot-pounds of torque? Why did we engineer suspension that automatically tightens for aggressive driving? Why did we equip it with Bluetooth, Sirius satellite radio, and a digital surround sound system? And why did we engineer every component to perform at Autobahn speeds? Why? Because we promised you a Mercedes-Benz. That's why.
Introducing the all-new 2008 C-Class, starting at $31,975.
Sure, yeah, you're right. Dollar's down again.
Oh, it's brutal.
No, it's feeble.
It's dropping like a lead balloon.
Tanking.
It's anemic.
It's just in free fall.
It's pathetic.
Hey, big O, what do you got there, fella?
Double cheeseburger from the dollar menu.
Did I say weak? The dollar's looking strong. Dollar's looking good.
Very good.
Hey, Owen, how you fixed on fries, buddy?
I'm good on fries. Thanks, Dave.
That's cold, man. Just thought I'd ask.
The McDonald's Beefy Cheesy Double Cheeseburger. Just one of the extravagant choices on the dollar menu.
It's the final days of Ford's year-end celebration. Your last chance to get the best offers of the year on America's best-selling truck, F-150, with best-in-class towing and payload, and an all-new reverse camera system. Ford's year-end celebration ends January 2nd. Don't miss out. Now get an F-150 with 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 cash back, and get 1 year free maintenance on all trucks. Visit a Ford dealer or go to FordVehicles.com.
The big event just got bigger. New Year's Day, 10 to 8, take up to 4 years interest-free. Big Sandy Superstore. See our circular. Visit our website at BigSandySuperstore.com. Furniture and bedding, kitchen and laundry appliances, and a huge selection of HD TVs. Save up to $1,120 in normal finance charges for every $2,000 financed. Up to 4 years interest-free. New Year's Day, 10 to 8. It's Big Sandy Superstore.
Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, and Tampa resident Rob Stone. Boy, we've learned just what an icon he is in this
yes,
community.
He is.
This week. Delighted to have you with us for the Outback Bowl. Tennessee and Wisconsin tied at 7. After 1 quarter of play, and you made the point during the break, Chris, nothing yet from Travis Beckham, the John Mackey Award finalist tight end, who had 73 catches during the regular season.
Well, they have gotten him out in space, and they had him on a corner, which I like the size matchup. Here he is right here in motion.
And Tyler Donovan rolls in his direction and throws incomplete. Jonathan Hefney broke it up. It was intended for Paul Hubbard. Game Track is brought to you by American Chemical. Paul Hubbard, an early fumble. Recovered by D'Angelo Willingham, and Tennessee turned it into a touchdown. Gerald Jones lined up a quarterback and took it in from 3 yards out. Wisconsin tied it on a tough run by Tyler Donovan. It took a shot from Eric Berry after crossing the goal line. And Tennessee looked poised to reclaim the lead, but a trick play backfired. Ames tried to hand it off. The leg to Lennon Creer, and it wound up as a fumble.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the trick play, but only when you need it, or if your offense is stalling, not when you're moving the ball.
Back to the I formation, and P.J. Hill ahead for 3 to the 15-yard line. Eric Berry made the tackle. The brilliant freshman safety, who's also played a lot of corner out of Fairburn, Georgia, in the Atlanta area. John Chavis said he's one of those guys you knew watching him in high school. He was going to be special. At 5 interceptions this season, was a freshman All-American.
Just a nose for the football, and anytime you have safety skills and are able to play man-to-man, which obviously is because of his experience in playing corner this year, that does make you a special player in its own right.
It raised the debate, should he be a safety or a corner? On 3rd down and 7, Donovan throws to Garrett Graham. Did the lunge get the first down? Donovan took another shot.
Tackled by Gerard Mayo.
Gerard Mayo made the tackle on Graham.
He took a shot to the left hand. He's had hand problems. He's grabbing his left hand. A good sign if you're Wisconsin, because it's a non-throwing hand.
8 of 6.
But the pressure keeps coming and coming and coming, and Mapu was able to get the shot on him. Well, that's a number of hits he's taken so far. I mean, not just little taps, Sean.
Yeah.
Some good bolts.
Well, he's wobbly. Allen Everidge is the backup quarterback, number 4. It was an open competition in the preseason. The coaches said once the year started, Donovan was clearly number 1. They don't want to have to go to the bench. Into Bush on the punt, as Graham did not get the first down with the lunge. Dennis Rogan handles the nose-up spiral from the 37 and brings it back for 5 yards. Blake Sorensen made the tackle, 42-yard punt, 5-yard return. It's been one heavy hit after another endured by Tyler Donovan.
There by Barry, then a couple in the passing lane, sitting in the pocket. There's a shot from Wilson, another shot, and here's the latest one. Horse collared. And here's a shot that makes him a little bit wobbly, and I'm wondering if he grabbed his hand or if he's starting to get cobwebby.
I doubt here on New Year's Day that Tyler's the first one in America who had to do the finger to the nose test. Ainge, a little wide receiver screen to Josh Briscoe, and he dances to the 49-yard line, very close to a first down. Here's Rob Stone.
Yeah, as I'm watching the medical staff work on Donovan right now, it's the outside of his left hand, kind of that pinky area towards the wrist. There's a slight cut on it right now and some significant swelling and discoloration already. His head down as the medical staff continuing to work kind of that lower knuckle towards the wrist area. Not looking good, but Chris, as you said, good thing it's not his throwing hand.
Yeah, and if it's not broken, then go ahead and see Dr. Feelgood. Put a pad on it. You'll be all right.
He did suffer injuries, bruised hands to both hands during the year. Ainge on target. Boston Rogers the catch. DeAndre Levy the tackle at the 30. First down, 20-yard gain on the completion to Rogers. He's had a very good year. 53 catches entering today.
Well, it starts with protection up front. Again, they're bringing delayed blitzes. Levy, the linebacker, has trouble staying with Rogers, who does a good job of trying to scoop it, but being 6'6" and seeing the routes develop downfield. And one of the strengths of Eric Ainge and watching him on film is his accuracy.
First catch of the day for Rogers. Arian Foster back in at running back. A play action fake to him. A ball to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Tennessee. Josh Briscoe.
Touchdown, Tennessee. 29-yard scoring pass. Eric Ainge to Josh Briscoe.
Josh Briscoe just on a crossing route. First of all, you set up everything with the play action. You see Briscoe from the inside slot beats Aubrey Pleasant across the field. Aubrey Pleasant has no shot. He gives him a two-way go. And you give a receiver like Briscoe that much room, he will make you pay, and you protect the quarterback. He's also adding to your payment.
Eventually, they lost 4 starters off that great defensive year ago, including both safeties. And it has been an inconsistent year of safety play for Wisconsin this year. 29-yard touchdown pass. The extra point good from Daniel Lincoln. And Tennessee is ahead again. Eric Ainge's 30th touchdown pass of his senior season.
Hey, boss, do we have Aflac?
Yeah, we have something else.
But if you're hurt and miss work, does it pay cash like Aflac does?
Nah.
Or let you spend it any way you want, like for gas and groceries?
Nah.
Or help with everyday bills like Aflac does?
Nah.
There's only one Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Nice try, boss.
Nah.
Most of the people we built the M-Class for will never drive across the desert.
Most people will never need windshield wipers that perform at Autobahn speeds.
Most people will never make a mountain rescue.
We'll never need the strength of over 5,000 welds or scale a 70% slope.
But the truth is, some will.
And knowing that, we cannot engineer anything less.
Anything less.
Anything less.
Anything less
than a true Mercedes-Benz. Than a true Mercedes-Benz.
To happiness. There's a lot of temptation out there.
In my hand is a little piece of heaven, and it's practical.
Nice. God, $9 grand. This won't make you happy. It'll end up buried in your closet. Put your money in an orange savings account. It won't go out of fashion. Then you'll feel better about yourself. $9 grand.
Sorry.
High interest, no fees, no minimums. Next thing you know, there's more money than when you started. And you're right back on the road to happiness.
ESPN College Football. The Outback Bowl is brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work. The new all-Jeep Liberty. And Duracell. Trusted everywhere.
And welcome back to the Outback Bowl from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Home of the Tampa Bay Bucks will host a playoff game here next weekend. Tyler Donovan with that left wrist now heavily taped. Getting some throws in on the sideline as the offense gets ready to go back onto the field for Wisconsin. Britton Colquitt the kickoff for Tennessee. Gilreath from the 8. All the way across the field to the far numbers and down at the 22, a 14-yard return. Tackled by Nick Revez, the son of the former place kicker Fuad Revez. And here's Rob Stone.
Will come out to take these snaps. He took some practice snaps, Sean, during that last time out. Didn't go so well. He came over to the bench. The backup, Alan Everidge, started warming up, and they taped up Donovan. What they did is they put a thick, slim foam pad along that left pinky and outside of the hand, and then a pretty thick tape job on top of it. He took one snap after the tape job, gave the old knowing nod of the head to head trainer Clark Pearson, saying, "I'm good to go."
It's different to take a snap on the sidelines and to take one in real action when your center's got a 310-pound guy sitting on his nose. Just watch these first couple snaps and see if the exchange is solid.
Marcus Coleman is the veteran center. All-conference player in the Big Ten this year. Donovan will run. Oh, he slid underneath the head, it seemed, of Gerard Mayo. His parents have been begging him to slide. My goodness. Boy, he's like a fighter who just keeps getting up off the deck. Now limping.
And there's another shot again, and he did slide. It didn't help him, but I'll tell you what, if he would have kept his eyes downfield, his ankle bent backwards, got caught in the turf.
Yeah, well, that's why he doesn't like to slide. He goes into a slide and hurt himself. Mom Brenda, in the back of your picture, and Dad Brian.
It's got a half of a slide.
Yep. Alan Everidge will come in. This is not a development the coaching staff wanted to see. Everidge has appeared in 6 games and has not played at a particularly high level. Brett Bielema out there to check on Donovan as we check in with Rob Stone.
Yeah, I think I'm Tyler Donovan's personal reporter here the last couple minutes. It is not his ankle, guys. They slid up his pants and popped out that knee pad right away. They are testing his left knee right now, and they really didn't make much of a hesitation to go to the backup, Alan Everidge. And good thing he had already been warming up after that shot he took to his left hand. Now looks like he's going to be seeing some playing time as they continue to tend to Donovan's left knee.
Yeah, the left leg stuck and his knee just buckled. Mentioned he had a left knee torn ACL in high school on the eve of the state championship game in which he played without a brace, and at 2 weeks later, and you could see he was immediately grabbing at the left knee with his left hand. And he hit the grass.
I think it's called the locks test, and when they do that test to see if anything is loose, and they can tell if that knee is moving around and not stable. Well, that's a test right there for the ACL. I've had those.
9:09 to play until the half.
Everything is in place to build my very own Capital One credit card.
You'll never get away with this.
Set rewards for double miles. Oh, and a low interest rate. Oh, and put a picture of Reggie on it.
Wow, you can upload your own photo.
Yes, just as I planned.
Introducing Capital One Card Lab. Customize your card by choosing your rewards, interest rate, even upload your own image at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
And they gave him his own parking spot right in front of the entrance.
In front of the main entrance?
It says Nick right there.
Oh, hey, Nick. I guess.
Hey, Nick. Senior VP at 32. It's just not natural.
I started working 4 months before him.
Hello, 1 year. Yeah. He's definitely taking some kind of productivity enhancer.
Mr. Bean is back on a train, on the road, and on vacation.
Mr. Bombastic, fantastic.
Rowan Atkinson. Mr. Bean's Holiday. Now playing on demand.
Tune to Channel 1 to watch this movie now. Time Warner Cable.
Who are the toughest men and women in the tri-state area? Coors Light and 84 Lumber present the 20th annual Original Tough Man Contest. Welcome by WTCR, WAMX, and Network West Virginia. It's coming this Friday and Saturday night to Huntington's Big Sandy Superstore Arena. Good seats are still available. Call 1-800-296-3897. That's 1-800-296-3897. Tough it out.
Back in Tampa, where the Tyler Donovan medical watch continues. He's over my shoulder right now. The medical staff continuing to work on his left knee, but his head coach, Brett Bielema, really working the officials. Not worried about the hit that hurt his knee, worried about the hit because he says it's been helmet to helmet. Remember Donovan, that touchdown run where he got in? Bielema upset, saying that was a head-to-head shot. In fact, he told us that the back judge already apologized to Bielema for missing that one. This time he's working the near side judge, saying that's another helmet-to-helmet hit. Guys, I had the headset on. I can still hear that. So Bielema very upset about Tennessee going high on their hits.
Well, they went to a bit of a trick play on the first play under center for Alan Everidge of this game. He handed it off to David Gilreath. It was dropped for a loss by Antonio Reynolds. 9 yards in the wrong direction for Wisconsin. The good news is you saw Donovan smiling on the sideline. Now he's up walking it off. He was a very, very tough young man.
And the shot wasn't from the contact. His foot got caught in the turf with the latest injury.
Everidge, a transfer from Kansas State, trying to set up a screen. It's dropped by Zach Brown, recovered by Tennessee, and now they're saying incomplete pass.
Trying to do anything to slow down Tennessee's pass rush and their aggressiveness. Just one with the fly sweep to make it stretch the field. Next with the screen. Nothing's working. Tennessee has the beat on them right now. Yeah, actually a good pass, and Zach Brown, that could be a fumble.
That was a catch and a fumble. Antonio Reynolds knocked it out.
Antonio Reynolds playing kind of like a zone drop, and Hubbard kind of just bumps into him. Actually, he blocks him in right to Zach Brown, which is able to cause the fumble, which was called incomplete.
Kenda Bush to punt for the third time. Not much wind in the stadium to affect the punts today. Dennis Rogan. Tripped up by Paul Standring. 46-yard punt, 10-yard return. Time for today's Aflac trivia question. This is the 10th year of the BCS. We want to know which player scored the first touchdown in the first BCS National Championship game. To play, text CF to 4ESPN. That's 43776. Standard message rates may apply.
Huge series for Wisconsin's defense. Tennessee with good field position, has the momentum going. Wisconsin has to step up until they find out the status of Tyler Donovan. So we're on the defensive side of the ball.
Eric Ainge throws on the move to Denarius Moore. One of the things you hear about Eric Ainge is he doesn't throw that well on the run, but that was a nice throw going to his left.
I guess the biggest criticism is, and I don't quite understand this, when it's a designed rollout, yes, he's very accurate on the run, as just witnessed. But when he has to improvise, that's when he runs into a few problems.
Only Peyton Manning and Casey Clausen have thrown for more yards passing than Eric Ainge. Oregon native, the nephew of Danny Ainge, director of basketball operations for the Boston Celtics, and almost certainly be the executive of the year in the NBA this year with the Celtics' success. Arian Foster stopped for a loss, dropped for a deficit of 2 back at the 46-yard line by Mike Newkirk.
You want to get any more Boston love in here, or?
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Buckeye Pom Pom.
Can they get at least half a season in before you crown the Celtics?
He's already the executive of the year. They've engraved the trophy in the name of Danny Ainge. And they are very close. Eric said he talks to Danny all the time. Danny asks a lot of questions about things that happen in Tennessee football games. He's a great student of all sports. Play action pass by Eric. Dumps it off in the flat. Denarius Moore with a lot of running room. That was way too easy for Tennessee. On third down, they convert. Jay Valai, backup safety, forced him out of bounds after a gain of 16 and a first down for the Vols.
Yeah, Shane Carter came up and played strong safety, bit on the inside crossing route. He's playing zone defense. You got to hold your position and not chase. Ainge comes out. The route came from across the field. It's just pitch and catch with no defender within 15 yards.
Tennessee moving ahead 14-7 in the second quarter. Ainge with a lot of time, throws, has another man wide open. It's Brad Cottam inside the 10. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Here's what you see with Eric Ainge. Now this is where he improvises a little bit with his feet. Great protection by the offensive line. Set the nice V off the back foot. Casillas jumps underneath with no help behind him. And Big Cottam, big guy to bring down, says, I'm not going to be denied. I've missed some time this year. I'm going to take it home, and he did.
His first touchdown catch of the year for Brad Cottam, who missed the first 9 games with a broken wrist. The extra point is deflected and had enough to get up and over. Looked like Elijah Hodge got a hand on it, but it's still good for Daniel Lincoln. 2 touchdown passes today for Eric Ainge. 6:15 to go in the first half of the Outback Bowl in Tampa. The Vols leading the Badgers 21-7.
Consider this. There's a public university that consistently ranks among the top in the number of Peace Corps volunteers and in the number of graduates serving as CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, whether they are leading corporations or changing the world. The next time you see people doing extraordinary things, they are probably Badgers. The University of Wisconsin-Madison. Forward thinking.
Sometimes the key to finding answers is to study the questions from a different perspective. Whether it's taking an up-close look at global climate change, exploring the bigger picture, or simply creating energy solutions from the ground up. We don't just approach problems from one direction, but from many. Because there's nothing like great minds on a statewide campus working together. The University of Tennessee, changing tomorrow, today.
Brad Cottam, the touchdown reception. Tennessee has opened up a 2-touchdown lead on Wisconsin as the sun comes out in Tampa, Florida. Andy Crooks, a backup tight end, fielded the short kickoff from Britton Colquitt and brought it back to the 30. 11-yard return. Also on this busy day in college football, the Capital One Bowl, not far from here. Cross I-4 in Orlando, Florida, 1 o'clock on ABC. Lloyd Carr's final game as Michigan head coach, and his team is the underdog against the Heisman Trophy winner, Tim Tebow and the Florida Gators. I'd like Florida to win. You think, being the loyal Big Ten guy that you are, the Wolverines will send off Coach Carr with a win?
I think that carries a lot of weight, especially with guys like Jake Long, Chad Henne, Mike Hart, their last game, and Coach Carr's last game. A lot of times that can be an equalizer.
How about this? Tyler Donovan back on the field. At quarterback. How many times can he get off the canvas? P.J. Hill, the ball carrier for about a yard.
P.J. Hill, the ball carrier. Tackled by number 35.
J.T. Mapu made the tackle with help from Elix Wilson.
Gain of 1.
Again, you wonder if they'll get Travis Beckham involved.
Tyler Donovan in a
3 punts in a row for the Badgers. We spoke with John Chavis, the defensive coordinator for Tennessee, yesterday. He said Travis Beckham might be as big an impact player as any player in the country on offense.
And there's 3 biggest games against Michigan, Ohio State, and Illinois.
They throw to the other tight end, Garrett Graham. And it's It's a first down to the 44. And John Chavis said admiringly, it's difficult to double Beckham and take him away because Wisconsin does a lot schematically to make that hard.
15 yards added to the end of the run. First down.
Antonio Reynolds called for roughing the passer. That's all Donovan needs with the day he's had to take another shot after the whistle.
And again, it's just guys playing hard and going to the football.
First and 10, Wisconsin.
And Ryan Carl, nothing malicious, is just trying to keep going, playing with great effort. But if I'm the Wisconsin offensive line, I got to look each other in the eye. And if I'm Tyler and saying, hey, boys, quit screwing around and start protecting me because you're killing me here, Whitey. You're killing me.
Well, in fairness to them, that was well after the ball was released, and the last time he got hurt, it was on a scramble.
Well, but still, he's taking his shots.
Yes, he is. And one of the shots was when he scored a touchdown. He gets swung around and dropped by Dan Williams, the sophomore defensive tackle from Memphis. One of the big plays of their season, a big blocked field goal in their overtime win against Kentucky.
Watch the knee right here, Sean. Again, it gets kind of compromised. And when you have big men slinging you to the ground, good thing you're a Gumby-like in your flexibility in your knee joints.
We asked Paul Christ about Donovan as a professional. He said he thinks perhaps Canada. And Paul Christ has some connections in Canada. He's already sent some tapes up there with Tyler's ability to be mobile. His skills might suit the CFL game. After the fake, dumped off to Garrett Graham. Coaches are very high on Graham, the sophomore from Brick, New Jersey. And he's close to a first down at the 33, an 11-yard gain. Wes Brown made the tackle for the Vols. We're down to 4:05 on the clock running remaining in the first half.
Well, Garrett Graham is kind of becoming the featured guy here from the tight end position. Beckham is kind of an H-back move guy. I love the call by Paul Christ. They fake the fly sweep, and they get everybody running outside, and they sneak Graham into the middle of the field with a little tight end screen. Good positive yards to give him a manageable third down.
Third down and 2, perhaps 4-down territory here for the Badgers. What a move by P.J. Hill behind the line of scrimmage. Looked like they had him trapped. He escaped and got the first down to the 26. A 7-yard run. Jonathan Hefney, making his school record 50th start for Tennessee, made the tackle.
It's old unbalanced here. They have 4 guys to this side of the line of scrimmage. And you see you break through right there. P.J. Hill with that low center of gravity makes one man miss. Elix Wilson has a chance to come in. He puts his head down and tackles ankles, so he's going to miss. And you see the spin move and power of P.J. Hill with the fresh legs.
Paul Christ, one of the bright offensive minds in the country. 4th season there. The last 3, they've averaged over 31 points per game, the best 3-year stretch in Wisconsin history offensively. Eric Berry tackled P.J. Hill after a gain of about 3. I think it's just a matter of time, don't you, before somebody makes this man a head coach. He has everything you'd be looking for, the X and O skills and the personality to be a terrific head coach.
Yeah, he's a good people skills and outstanding. Been with, as you said, Mike Riley out at Oregon State was his offensive coordinator, and everybody has such respect for Coach Riley. And Paul Christ understands it's a matter of time before he gets his shot.
2.5 minutes to go. The Badgers moving down by 14 points. 2nd and 6 for Donovan. Has a man open. Kyle Jefferson. Well, the Vols lost a helmet. It's Ryan Carl. Jefferson down inside the 10 with a first down. D'Angelo Willingham helped Carl get Jefferson on the ground, but it's a 15-yard gain for the true freshman. Jefferson pressed into service this year when Luke Swan, their leading receiver, went down at midseason with a torn hamstring.
And that was the timing right there. Donovan hit Jefferson as he's coming out of his break, and Jefferson from Cleveland Glenville High School, coached by Ted Ginn Sr., producing a lot of Division I college football players. He does a great job up there in Northeast Ohio. Of course, we all know how strong Ohio high school football is and the amount of players they bring out in college football.
Yes, Luke Swan remains very much a team leader. It was a big blow to them when they lost the senior wide receiver at Illinois in their first loss of the year. P.J. Hill down near the 4-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go. Wisconsin has 1 timeout left, but they have plenty of time. I think maybe perhaps Tennessee might think of a timeout here. Try to get the ball back with time to do more.
Yeah, I would think about that. Absolutely. If you have belief in your defense. Obviously, they're able to finish.
Yep, under Brett Bielema. He says his name is often mangled. At one of the functions this week, he was introduced as bulimia. And when they ran on the field today, the public address announcer introduced him as Bulima. So he's still making a name for himself in his second year as the head coach. Donovan, the throwback, has a man wide open. Touchdown, Wisconsin, Andy Crooks.
I watched this play in practice yesterday.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Donovan a lot happier than they were a moment ago. I don't care who you're rooting for today. You have to admire what Tyler Donovan is doing in this game.
Right, well, it's his last game. He's going to go out and do everything he can to give it his all. But a great job. And anytime you have P.J. Hill with the threat, Crooks kind of hides in and sneaks across from the right side to the left side. Just pitch and catch for Donovan to Crooks for 6 points. Executed in practice, executed in the game.
First catch of the year for Andy Crooks. Melhoff the extra point. Donovan has run for a touchdown and now thrown one to the senior from Wausau, Wisconsin, Crooks. And it's a 7-point game with 1:03 to go till the half.
You'll see Crooks right here. Now watch, he's going to kind of sneak in here and try to get lost, and you're going to do the play action to P.J. Hill. He's going to sneak in and get lost. Just kind of mosey through there. Oh, nobody's got me. I'm wide open, big fella. That's it. Celebrate, you big senior. You deserve it.
4-yard touchdown, capping a 70-yard drive in 9 plays. They took more than 5 minutes off the clock. First catch of the year for Crooks. And I think Donovan's knee is okay.
Good for him. Now, that's what you want. I mean, that's what you want as your leader. When your leader's taking shot after shot, he's getting knocked around and dinged up and head and knees and everything. Comes to the bench and comes back and produces. Guys will rally around that. Not only his offensive players, but the whole defense, coaches, everybody gets jacked behind their leader.
Time to answer today's Aflac trivia question. This is the 10th year of the BCS. We wanted to know which player scored the first touchdown in the first BCS National Championship game. The Vols were in it, and Sean Bryson, the outstanding fullback, scored on a 4-yard pass from T. Martin as the Tennessee Vols beat Florida State to win the Fiesta Bowl and the national championship.
I believe you said Peerless Price, and I believe I said Sean Bryson when that was posed in our meeting.
I don't recall that.
You are the master.
Melhoff the kickoff. Dennis Rogan the return. And a nice run back to the 35-yard line. 29 yards on the return. Let's check in with Reese Davis.
All right, Sean, coming up on the SportsCenter halftime report presented by Flomax. We're getting set for Lloyd Carr's swan song in the Capital One Bowl. Look ahead to Michigan's matchup with Florida. Things are coming up roses, and will it be rosy enough for Illinois if they follow the advice of Lou Holtz's pep talk? Robert Smith will join me, and we both wish you guys a happy new year.
Thank you, Reese. Same to you and all of our friends and colleagues back in the studio. What a great job you all have done this season. 54 seconds left in the half. Tennessee did not use the timeout. They might have had an additional 25 seconds or so here on this possession with good field position. Jonathan Casillas dropped Gerald Jones for a loss of a couple.
And that's Phil Fulmer, David Cutcliffe. They pointed out Jonathan Casillas by name because of his speed and playmaking ability. And right there, a big play. Good read on a quick screen by Casillas.
He's a junior from New Brunswick, New Jersey, one of 10 children. He said he thought he had about 9 family members here today. That's Shaughnessy. That's down the pass.
And one thing, if I'm Wisconsin, I stay out of man-to-man. They were in man-to-man in the 3rd and 11. Last time Tennessee had the football were burned. I think you stay zone, you drop to the sticks, and keep everything in front of you.
25 seconds to go in the half. 7-point lead for Tennessee. Ainge out of the gun, and it's incomplete off the hands of Josh Briscoe. So now with the sun shining brightly for the first time today. We're getting out of here just in time, by the way. They are predicting that the temperature is going to be down in the 20s here in the Tampa Bay area on Thursday morning. And you can see Gilreath dealing with the bright sunshine for the first time as he stands back for the punt. He's looking right into the sun.
Again, the number one thing, ball security, 21 seconds. You don't need to create anything. If it's not catchable, just let it hit. You can run out the clock.
Britton Colquitt trying to punt it away from the talented Gilreath, who does get away from the ball. And it takes a Tennessee roll all the way down to the 12-yard line. Down by Nick Revez, an excellent special teams player. 54-yard punt by Britton Colquitt. Fourth member of his family to punt for Tennessee. Cousin Jimmy, brother Dustin, dad Craig have all punted with distinction. As has Britton, who fought off a quad injury early in the year to have another fine year punting at better than 41 yards per punt.
Obviously Wisconsin, 9 seconds, take your knee. It's a really good football game, Sean. Very physical, kind of like we expected. And we'll see the adjustments at halftime and who makes them and who executes the adjustments.
Ford Colquitt's the top 4 all-time in punting. And Donovan takes the knee, and he'll get a well-earned breather in the locker room at the half. Here's Rob Stone.
How do you dress your team considering all the shots that Mr. Donovan's been taking today?
Well, Tyler's taking shots all year. He's an extremely tough kid. I got a little upset just because I saw 2 helmets on my quarterback. Expressed my displeasure, and we got a call then after that. But we have to do the things that we can control on the field. We have to execute better on offense. Can't shoot ourselves in the foot. We had to burn timeouts off of misalignment, so we got to concentrate and execute better. And defensively, we were missing a lot of tackles.
Obviously, Tyler, a little bit banged up. How, if at all, will that affect your play calling in the second half?
Well, we'll just ride him until we can. And, the biggest thing is, Allen's played before if he gets in the game, but we won't think that way. Tyler's our guy, and I'm sure he'll carry us through.
Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, halftime in the first game of 2008. Tennessee leading Wisconsin 21-14. Now a steady stream of quality information from Reese Davis and Robert Smith. It's the Flomax halftime report.
A brand new year, and Sean McDonough's already on his A game. Glad to have you with us.
Is he ever off his A game?
Never a doubt. Second half not too far away. Ought to be a great one between Tennessee and Arkansas. Volunteers up by 7 at the break. And this Tennessee and Wisconsin, I should say. Arkansas is playing also in the Cotton Bowl right now. Wisconsin's a team that you expected big things from in the offseason. Slow start. What would it do for them to finish up strong, be able to get a win over an SEC team?
Well, I think it says a lot about this team. You look at them last year in the bowl game. Everybody talks about the SEC speed and how deep the SEC is. They took the champion from the West last year, Arkansas, and handled them pretty readily in a bowl game. So, but I think it would say a lot about what Brett Bielema has done this year. I think they had a disappointing start offensively, defensively, never really able to get on track in the same game earlier in the year. But as the season progressed, really started to improve. So this would be huge for them. And you can't say enough about how Tyler Donovan has played in this game. He's gotten thrown around like a rag doll, come out of the game a couple times, head snapping around. He's tough as nails. So it's an impressive performance by him.
Great leadership from Donovan in the first half. Meanwhile, Tennessee has played very well despite all the turmoil that they've had on their coaching staff, with David Cutcliffe leaving, some assistants moving on to other jobs. The Volunteers with a 7-point lead over Wisconsin at the break. Arkansas, meanwhile, from the SEC, is playing number 6 Missouri in the Cotton Bowl. The Hogs also in transition. Reggie Herring is coaching this game. He was the defensive coordinator under Houston Nutt. He's going to be gone afterwards. Bob Petrino takes over. And right now, Missouri seems like the team that's more into the game, Robert.
Yeah, they do. But I quite honestly, I expected to see more scoring in this one. And part of the reason is because Arkansas just hasn't shown up, it seems, offensively. But you would think that offensively, Missouri would be able to move the ball a little bit better against this Arkansas team. But we'll see what happens. They could start off 7-0 early into the second. This one could end up in the 70s for over/under.
And Missouri is first New Year's Day bowl game since 1970. Still to come on the Sports Center halftime report presented by Flomax. We'll look ahead to the Rose Bowl.
The Under Armour High School All-America game presented by ESPNU, Saturday at 2.
Why did we give the new C-Class almost 260 foot-pounds of torque? Why did we engineer suspension that automatically tightens for aggressive driving? Why did we equip it with Bluetooth, Sirius satellite radio, and a digital surround sound system? And why did we engineer every component to perform at Autobahn speeds? Why? Because we promised you a Mercedes-Benz. That's why.
Introducing the all-new 2008 C-Class, starting at $31,975.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
How it feels to chew 5 gum. Peppermint that cools as you chew. New 5 gum. Stimulate your senses.
We need more customers. So, what? Advertise?
Ask the ad guru. The first path, Yellow Book.
Excellent. Yellow Book. But what about the internet?
The second path, yellowbook.com.
What if people look on search engines?
The third path, trust Yellow Book to place your ad on powerful search engines across the internet. The path begins with Yellow Book.
Business is off the charts.
Wherever you look, Yellow Book.
The Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. Illinois versus USC. Today at 4:30 Eastern on ABC.
Welcome back to the Flomax Halftime Report.
Coming up this afternoon on ABC and HD, the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. Fighting Illini in Pasadena for the first time since the '83 season. USC has taken up residence there. They hope to finish in the top 5 for the 6th straight year, but they'll need a win to do so. They also need another loss. Currently ranked 6th in the Associated Press. Brett Musburger and Kirk Herbstreit will be on the call.
One of the grand stages in American sport, the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. And wherever Kirk and I go this week, you find everyone saying that USC will win this game and easily. And I guess why not? They've got a lot of first-round draft choices. More importantly, Kirk, they are completely healthy.
Well, I think USC, in talking with him, preparing for this game, they're anxious to show America that they feel they are the best team in college football. It's their last chance as seniors to go out. Now that they're healthy, they want to show what they're capable of doing.
But Juice Williams is a pretty nifty quarterback for the Illini.
Juice Williams brings in an offense that they hope can slow down this USC defense. The confidence that he gained by his performance in Columbus was huge, not only for himself, but for this football team. In fact, in my opinion, Brent, that's been their rallying call around Juice Williams is, hey, we went to Columbus and we beat the #1 team in the country. That gives us confidence to think we can go to the Rose Bowl and beat SC.
We'll take to the air 4:30 Eastern Time. Should be a dandy from the Rose Bowl.
And guys, we'll look forward to it. It is strength against strength. Ron Zook's team likes to run the football. Rashard Mendenhall, Juice Williams, also a quarterback, is dangerous. They even get the ball in the running game occasionally to Aurelius Ben, the fine freshman receiver. And the SC defense pretty much shuts down everything. You look at this from a historical perspective, and it's not typical for a team with 3 losses to make it into the Rose Bowl. And when they do, at least in the poll era, they're 6-16. They've lost the last 6 times they've gotten there. Illinois, great turnaround this year, but they are one of those 3-loss teams. Are they completely overmatched by the Trojans?
I don't think that they're completely overmatched, and I think the ironic part about this is that they knocked Ohio State off there in Columbus, which seemingly, after Ohio State beats Michigan, would have sent Ohio State to the Rose Bowl, and then with Missouri and West Virginia losing there at the end of the year, sends Ohio State to the championship game, opens up that spot for Illinois in the Rose Bowl. Kind of ironic there, but I really think that this team has performed extremely well, and this juice on this team, unlike his namesake, is starting to make better decisions as he's getting older. Only 39% completions last year, up around 55% this year, but this USC defense is something that he hasn't really seen this year. But I'll tell you, when you talk about USC, I think as much as any team in the country, I'm not saying they're front runners. I'm not going to go so far as to say that, but I think that these guys like to read their press clippings, and I think they really believe. Let's put it this way. You're never as good or as bad as people say you are. I think USC really believes they're as good as people say they are when they say that they're at their best. And, of course, you had Harbaugh saying they might be the best college team ever.
And then he beat them.
And then he beat them. Yeah. So he set them up for that one. Yeah. But this is a very fast USC defense, a little bit banged up at the linebacker spot. Rivers is a little banged up there. Cushing as well, also, so right. They're a little bit banged up there, and this is the kind of offense, a running type quarterback. And you talked a little bit earlier about how Pete Carroll has wondered how they're going to deal with guys like this. You just try and smack them and smack them and smack them, but you've also got Rashard Mendenhall to deal with, one of the most underrated backs in the country.
What is the telltale sign that you'll be looking for early in this game to determine whether Illinois is overwhelmed by the surroundings and the stage and the prestige of being in the Rose Bowl?
Well, I think the early penalties, you see those early drop passes, easy drop passes, those nerves at the beginning of a game like that, but especially those false start penalties on your offensive line, stupid mistakes jumping off sides on defense, little things like that let you know. And then you can see offensively, once again, if the guys are dropping easy passes like the swing passes out of the backfield, which is something that I think offensive coordinators try to do at the beginning of some of those games, just to get their quarterback and their running backs into the flow of the game, just some little swing passes, some little drop downs, just try and get them used to the atmosphere.
You want to see some fuel added to the fire that USC is playing better than anyone in the country? Let them thump Illinois and then have Ohio State playing in the national championship game and have Ohio State win the game. Then you'll all of a sudden get all of the talk that USC indeed was the best team that
I think we may get that anyway.
Well, you probably will, but you can't lose to Stanford at home if you want to play. Michigan and Florida in the Capital One Bowl coming up.
This Halftime Report brought to you by Flomax.
Going over and over? It's not just you. Stopping and starting? Going urgently? You're not alone. Lots of guys experience male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also known as an enlarged prostate. But for many guys, prescription Flomax may relieve urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week. And who doesn't want to spend less time in the bathroom? Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not prostate cancer. Common side effects of Flomax are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Upon standing, a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. So when starting Flomax, avoid situations where injury could result. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Do what millions of guys have already done. Ask your doctor about Flomax and call 877-4FLOMAX for a free 1-week trial. Why wait? Join the crowd. Flomax could make a difference in 1 week.
Over 1 billion movies delivered so far. 0 late fees. Netflix.
Pick a city, then get a 4-star hotel at a 2-star price from Hotwire.com. When 4-star hotels have unsold rooms, they use Hotwire to fill them. So you get the lowest prices guaranteed.
HOTWIRE, Hotwire.com.
There are 380,000 NCAA student athletes. And most of us will go pro in something other than sports. In something other than sports. Go to ncaastudent.org to find out how.
Back on the SportsCenter halftime report presented by Flomax. Chick-fil-A Bowl last night. Clemson and Auburn. Auburn had a 3-0 lead, and suddenly C.J. Spiller was bottled up. Then Auburn's defense springs a leak. 83 yards. He goes the longest run in Chick-fil-A Bowl history.
That's picking him up and putting him down. He was one of those guys that was a state champion, I believe, down there in the state of Florida, 100 meters. That's really getting it done right there.
Great speed for him. Auburn putting in the much ballyhooed new offense. Brandon Cox ran some elements of the traditional one and threw an interception to Creston Butler. Clemson had the ball. Ensuing drive, 4th and goal inside the 1. Tommy Bowden passing on the field goal attempt to take the lead. Wanted the touchdown, got it. Tigers of Clemson up 17-10. But Auburn drives back down. Ben Tate ties it at 17. We go to overtime. First overtime, 3rd down for Clemson. Cullen Harper. He didn't have a great game last night passing the ball and rose into a crowd. Almost got it intercepted. Clemson had to settle for a field goal. 4th and inches now. Tuberville decides not to tie it up. He wants to keep going, go for the touchdown.
You know, in the bowl games, you're going to see stuff like that. I mean, it's not the national championship game. Every other bowl game, why not take the chances?
And the likely starting quarterback for Auburn next year, though they do have a JUCO transfer coming in, Cody Burns gets the game-winning touchdown, and Auburn wins it 23-20 and keeps the SEC undefeated in the Bowl Challenge Cup. Now, every other conference has been mathematically eliminated except the Southeastern Conference and the Mountain West. Mountain West is done. SEC, ton of more games to play, and they have to win 8 of their 9 games if they're going to win the Bowl Challenge Cup. What to watch for? The Capital One Bowl coming up top of the hour on ABC. The Heisman Trophy winner Tim Tebow against Michigan and Lloyd Carr in his final game. Tebow and the Gators 2-0. Big Ten under Urban Meyer, though Tebow involved only in one of them last year with the national championship win over Ohio State. Now this is
Sun Belt. Now let's not forget about the Sun Belt. Now FAU 1,000. You can't get any better percentage than 1,000. Just ask Mercury Morris.
I've heard the rumors about that, but in the Bowl Challenge Cup,
know, it's got to have a minimum number of bowls.
Minimum of 3, right? So maybe they could get a consolation prize, a fabulous parting gift.
Well, Franklin was the offensive coordinator for Auburn in this one. He was from Troy.
So does he count? That counts as the Sun Belt win somehow? Are you putting Auburn in the Sun Belt?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, Michigan and Florida coming up at the top of the hour. That's over on ABC, the Capital One Bowl. Lloyd Carr's final game as Michigan head coach. What impact do you think that's going to have on the Wolverine players?
I think it's going to have an impact for them. And all the things that this team has been through this year emotionally, you know, obviously losing the game to Appalachian State, then losing the game to Oregon. You have to remember what this team consisted of. A lot of seniors that came back to win a national championship, and they were embarrassed by that. And so you're not just out there playing for yourself. You're not just out there trying to impress the scouts. You're trying to send him out a winner. But this is not the greatest team to do it against. Everybody's talked about how, you know, the spread-type offenses presented Michigan with trouble. I don't think this is as much a case of that just because Tim Tebow is not the kind of guy that's really a mobile-type quarterback in the same sense as an Armani Edwards or a Dennis Dixon. But this is certainly not the best situation to be going in for Michigan to send Lloyd Carr out a winner.
The emotions must have been surging through Lloyd Carr as you saw peek in the Capital One Bowl as the two teams were on the field warming up. Michigan has lost its last 4 bowl games. Carr hoping that he can go out on a winning note and end that streak, the longest Michigan has had in postseason since losing 7 straight in the 70s. Out of the Big Ten, Wisconsin. Donovan DeCrooks got the Badgers within 7.
Hey, how's the taxes?
I'm stuck.
Stuck, eh? Maybe you should get some people to help us. Oh, that's right. We didn't use people. We used a box. Well, maybe you should tell the box you're stuck.
I'm stuck.
Tax Cut from H&R Block is the only tax program that gives you direct access to H&R Block tax professionals.
Hello?
Even when you do it yourself with Tax Cut, you got H&R Block. You got people.
Hey, Derek, what's the deal with the special burger?
Why don't you try calling it by its proper name, Jason? It's called the Special Secret Double Deluxe Bistro Burger.
I'll be sure to do that. How do you make it?
Well, you get you some raw meat, you ball it up, and put it on a plate.
That sounds gross. Derek? Hey, man, I didn't mean... You want raw meat on a plate, you got it.
Switch to the network you can trust. AT&T. Get our exclusive smartphones, now only $99.99.
It's the final days of Ford's year-end celebration. Our biggest event ends January 2nd. Your last chance to get the best offers of the year on Edge, Fusion, and the new restyled Focus. All available with Sync voice-activated communications. Ford's year-end celebration ends January 2nd. Don't miss out. The Ford Focus, starting around $14 grand. And the stylish Ford Fusion, starting under $18,000. Visit a Ford dealer or go to FordVehicles.com.
In West Virginia, court actions have stopped surface mine permits. One argument centers around what happens to bugs when valley fills are constructed. Miss Bug, is coal mining a hardship for you?
Heck no, the valley fills make great homes for us bugs.
What about streams?
When the rain falls, the water flows just fine for my family.
So there you have it. That's the bug's eye view of this issue.
Can we talk about car windshields now?
Back on the SportsCenter halftime report presented by Flomax. Certainly when Illinois takes the field for its first Rose Bowl appearance since the 1983 season, New Year's Day of 1984, the emotions are sure to be gushing, but finding a way to keep them under control as they get set to take on USC might be key if the Illini want to spring the upset. It would also help to get a great pep talk like the one Lou Holtz delivers to the Fighting Illini.
Man, life's a matter of choices. Every day, the rest of your life, you're going to have to make important choices. But no choice are you going to make more important every single day than the attitude you have. There are 32 bowl games this year. We're the largest underdog in the entire bowl series. Why? Because the experts have chosen to look at the great assets of USC. I believe we're going to win the football game because I look at the assets that we have. I look at a Rashad Mendenhall, a Juice Williams, a Aurelius Ben, and so many other players in this room. I remember the great performance you put on in Columbus, Ohio when you beat Ohio State decisively, and yet they're going to go on and play for the national championship. And man, I'm not saying be a Pollyanna. I'm not saying we aren't going to have problems or difficulties. Don't be like the guy that fell out of a 20-story window. As he went by each floor, he hollered, "I'm doing okay so far." Yeah, we're going to have difficulties, but we'll overcome them because of the attitude we have. And I don't want you to be nervous about this game or even give a negative thought to it. Enjoy it. There are 13,500 people playing Division I-A football. And every one of those young men would love to be in this locker room representing Illinois in the Rose Bowl. You're not here because you won a lottery. You're not here because you're lucky. You earned the right to be in this locker room. Man, you'll do great today. But I want you to remember this. Every day, somebody does something great. Today, I want that someone to be you. You have 60 minutes to play and a lifetime to remember it. It's going to be a great memory because we choose to win. We choose to succeed, not fail. Let's go.
Tennessee hoping to choose to win an Eric Ainge's finale. The brilliant senior quarterback hoping to go out with a win finds Brad Cotton for the touchdown, and the Big Orange up by 7.
This halftime report brought to you by Flomax.
Dollar's down again.
Oh, it's brutal.
No, it's feeble.
It's dropping like a lead balloon.
Tanking.
It's anemic.
It's just in free fall.
It's pathetic.
Hey, big O, what do you got there, fella?
Double cheeseburger from the dollar menu.
Did I say weak? Dollar's looking strong. Dollar's looking good.
Very good.
Hey, Owen, how you fixed on fries, buddy?
I'm good on fries. Thanks, Dave.
That's cold, man. Just thought I'd ask.
The McDonald's Beefy Cheesy Double Cheeseburger. Just one of the extravagant choices on the dollar menu.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
The hardest part about working out is taking that first step.
You gotta start somewhere.
Right now, sign up your whole family at 24 Hour Fitness for a $49 initiation fee. There are over 400 clubs nationwide where you can get fit with a personal trainer, free Group X classes, and more. You never know what you can do.
My favorite exercise is the push-up.
Now I can wakeboard. I'm doing cartwheels now.
Until you do it. A $49 initiation fee and $79.99 processing fee for the whole family, plus monthly dues per person. Call, click, or visit 24 Hour Fitness.
Just a few minutes away from the start of the second half of the Outback Bowl, Tennessee and Wisconsin Volunteers have a 21-14 lead at the break. Robert, you saw the first half, a lot of offense in the first half. Who wins this game? What do you expect to see early?
Well, I think Tennessee is going to win this ball game. I don't think Tyler Donovan's going to make the whole game. He's had a gutsy performance so far, but I think it's getting to the point now where you're almost better going with a backup, obviously less experience with Everidge, but it seems like Tyler Donovan's having a little trouble moving around, haven't been able to get that run offense going with P.J. Hill, so I like Tennessee in this.
So the Volunteers over 200 yards passing from Eric Ainge in the first half of his final game as a Tennessee quarterback. Just about ready for the second half from Tampa right now as the Vols lead the Badgers by 7.
Welcome to ESPN's presentation of Capital One Bowl Week.
And as Capital One Bowl Week continues, we welcome you back to the Outback Bowl. High school all-star band on the field, and boy, are they terrific, from 41 different high schools representing 15 different states. A salute to our military as well. You saw Sergeant Jose Roman from the Tampa area on the field among the military personnel present here today. At the half, Tennessee leads Wisconsin 21-14. Game Track brought to you by American Chemical. And the big story of the first half, the shots endured by Tyler Donovan. He tied the game at 7, but took a hit from Eric Berry when he scored that touchdown. And as he tried to slide, injured his knee. Lost in all that, Eric Ainge threw for 229 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. He was impressive. Donovan went out of the game, came back into the ball game, found Andy Crooks to get them within 1 touchdown to the break. Wisconsin will get the ball first to start the second half. And Chris, you wondered, will they get Travis Beckham involved? The All-American tight end has not had a catch.
Well, they've opportunities. He's been open down in the field as Donovan hasn't looked to him yet. He's going to Paul Hubbard, which is his comfort level, and also Graham, the other tight end. But Wisconsin's going to give you a steady stream of P.J. Hill. P.J. Hill's the guy that gets going, downhill runner, and he had some success in the first half with 49 yards.
Had not played much in the last 3 games, appeared in only 1 of the previous 3, but he had 49 yards rushing on 10 carries. Second half is underway here at the Outback Bowl. David Gilreath returning the kickoff for Wisconsin. And the freshman did well to make it back to the 23-yard line. Here's Rob Stone.
Well, just spoke with Wisconsin's medical staff about an update on Tyler Donovan. They said they completely reevaluated him, literally from head to toe to wrist to knee in the locker room, iced him up. Everything seems to be a go. They may or may not do an MRI on that knee after the game. Spoke with Tennessee head coach Philip Fulmer about the first half, and he said, outside the penalties, I'm pretty happy with those penalties. He felt this score could be 35-7, maybe 35-14. I asked him what he expects from a dinged-up Donovan. He said, man, he looked pretty good on that last drive, maybe a few less rollouts, but he's a good QB and doesn't seem to be limited too much by the knocks that they've been giving him.
Brett Bielema told us this season almost every time when he's been on the field before the game and had the handshake with the opposing head coach, the other coach has said, I love the way your quarterback plays. And you know that Philip Fulmer has to admire the gritty effort by the opposing quarterback today. Zach Brown, who started the game as the running back, opens the second half as well. He ran out to the 29 for a gain of 6, tackled by Ryan Carl. 4 times hurried, 3 times sacked, took a lot of shots after delivering the ball. And he had gotten up to answer the bell just about every time. Left briefly in the first half. Alan Everidge replaced him.
And a couple of those hits that weren't documented were the shots that he took, one on the touchdown run and one when he took off on the 3rd down and tried to get the 1st down where he got his other knee bent backwards.
Donovan was 7 out of 9 passing in the first half. Brown across the 30, but short of the 1st down by a couple. And it'll be 3rd down and 2. Gerard Mayo made the tackle. He led the SEC in tackles this year with 127.
This is a time, Sean, and we talked about it at halftime. We talked about in the end of the first quarter that Beckham has to get involved. They have matchups out here with his size at 6'4", 225. He's working on inside recover guys, and you got Mayo stepping out and probably cover him if he's not on a blitz right now. He's in motion.
Donovan under duress dumps it off. First down. Kyle Jefferson to the 39-yard line. Elix Wilson, the brother of the former Tennessee wide receiver Cedric Wilson, made the tackle. 8 yards and a first down for Wisconsin. They had 18 minutes and 2 seconds of possession time in that first half, but were outgained about 2-1. Interesting contrast in the numbers there. Wisconsin leads the nation in time of possession, 33 minutes and 50 seconds per game.
And they just grind you and grind you and grind you. And the reason why they get manageable third downs, and they convert those 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3s, and they don't capitalize on points, which they could have in the first half, but they do hold the football.
Beckham doesn't have any catches, but 2 other tight ends, Graham and Crooks, will combine for 5 catches. Donovan threw a sinker shy of Kyle Jefferson. Brent Vinson had the coverage. Beckham was one of the finalists for the John Mackey Award, one of 3 finalists, the award that goes to the best tight end in the country. 73 catches. He needs 2 to tie Lee Evans, the wide receiver, for Wisconsin's single season reception mark. There have been some talk that Travis might come out and head toward the NFL, but he has already said he intends to come back, thinks he can get bigger and stronger and continue to improve his blocking, which was better this year.
I've kind of had the eye in the sky on blocking so far, and he's done a good job at the point of contact on the line of scrimmage, and also as an H-back, fullback lead blocker, he's done a good job.
Another timeout on offense used by Wisconsin. They've had issues from time to time getting lined up correctly and getting plays off. 2 minutes into the 3rd quarter, here's Rob Stone.
Well, Sean, let's continue talking about Travis Beckham. And yes, he said he is not coming out for the NFL draft. But I spoke with Todd McShay of the ESPN Scouts Inc. last night, and he said if Beckham puts on the 15 pounds and improves the blocking like you guys just talked about, he will be a surefire first-round pick. He also had, if he came out right now, he has a chance to be the first tight end taken. There is nobody close to him as far as being a pro catching tight end in college football right now.
He's a junior from Milwaukee. Outstanding high school player, came as a defensive player, linebacker and defensive end. But he said he noticed early on that they had 2 senior tight ends when he was a freshman. He approached the coaches about playing tight end. At first they shook their head and said no. Paul Chryst said he even checked with Travis's high school coach, who said no, we tried him at tight end in high school and it didn't work that well. But he has become a prolific pass catcher and a much improved blocker as his career has gone on. Only in his 2nd year at the position, so plenty of room for improvement. Donovan looked in his direction, then pulled it down and gets to the 45 for a gain of 6. Tackled by Xavier Mitchell.
Well, he tried to go to Beckham right there, and Jonathan Hefney read his mail pretty well, and Beckman kind of ran a lazy route. If he's going to run a little stop route, he's got to work back to the football. Watch Tyler. He's going to look right to him right now. Hefney was right on that, so he decides to tuck and run. But I'm telling you this, Hefney got a little bit nosy. They might set him up for the little hitch and go. Just keep that in the back of your mind.
3rd down and 4 for Wisconsin, opening possession of the 2nd half. The Badgers trail by a touchdown. They trailed by 14 in the first half. Donovan's pass is batted down and is incomplete. Might have been Xavier Mitchell at defensive line for John Chavis, defensive coordinator for the ball since 1995.
Well, Mitchell or Mapua couldn't quite tell, but you see, yeah, Mitchell gets up there with the high left hand, Sean, and does a good job of timing it. Good job of recognizing if you're not going to get to the quarterback, disrupt it somehow and get your big paws in the throwing lane. Exactly what he did.
John Chavis, we said earlier, said it hasn't been a year to remember defensively for Tennessee, but they haven't had a dominant pass rusher, and they have a lot of young people and injuries in the secondary, and that's a dangerous combination when you're on defense. The Bush's punt returned by Dennis Rogan, 40-yard kick, 11-yard return. Here comes Eric Ainge, and the offense for the first time in the half for Tennessee. Tradition continues with the Rose Bowl game today on ABC. Number 13 Illinois making their first trip to the Rose Bowl since 1984, taking on the 7th-ranked USC Trojans. The Rose Bowl game presented by Citi today on ABC, 4:30 Eastern Time.
It's going to be a great game. Ron Zook will have those guys ready to play. Juice Williams, Mendenhall, Aurelius Ben. Can they match the power of the SC Trojans? Stay tuned.
Arian Foster wrapped up by Casillas. Started to get away, and then O'Brien Schofield came to Casillas's aid. Lost back to the 19-yard line. Juice Williams, Richard Mendenhall, a couple of the key weapons for the Fighting Illini heading into that matchup with USC. You said the question is, can they compete? What do you think?
I think they can. I really do. I know talent-wise, they're young, but they're very athletic. It's going to take their finest effort. SC's skill level positions are outstanding, and their defense is ferocious.
Ainge under pressure, threw it low for Brad Cottom. Been a remarkable turnaround for Illinois. 7 wins improvement from a year ago when they were 2-10. They're 9-3, the most improved team in the country this year with 7 more wins than last year. Air Force was +5 in the win category over a year ago.
And Ron Zook, you know, everybody says what a great recruiter. Sometimes that overshadows on his ability to coach a football team, which I think is proven out this year.
Well, he silenced a lot of those critics with the win at Ohio State. Ainge looking to the sideline, still 10 seconds on the play clock. The Wisconsin fans making noise on 3rd down and 16. Balls from their own 19-yard line. Ainge swings it out wide for Arian Foster with a lot of work to do. Did some, but not enough. Kirk DeKramer made the tackle. The freshman from Middleton, Wisconsin. His dad, the late Jim DeKramer, a former basketball player at Wisconsin, who died unexpectedly a couple of years ago.
Well, you like to see your freshman make that kind of play. Known as a pass rusher, recognized the screen, pulled out of his pass rush, and great hustle pursuing the proper angle to make the play on the swing screen.
A big punting situation here. Colquitt. Short. It was high. It took a good bounce and went out of bounds at the 38-yard line. 42-yard punt. 10.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter here in Tampa.
Something attacked the city. Alive, it's huge! Beth, where are you?
Tell me that's not her place.
That's your place, yeah. We're gonna go after her.
I'm coming with you.
There's nothing you can do for now.
On January 18th,
You guys see that guy's face? When we asked him what it was, they have no idea.
their only hope
We could just wait for there to be a lull.
The airport on fire. There's not gonna be a lull.
is each other.
We gotta get out of here. It's not safe here.
Cloverfield, rated PG-13.
Let's face it, even with federal student loans and other financial aid, the real cost for a year of college may be higher than you think. A Chase Education One loan can help with all your school-related expenses, from college basics to basic living expenses, not to mention the big one, tuition. You can get up to $40,000 a year for most college expenses. With a Chase Education One loan, it's fast and easy, and your check is sent in about a week. Plus, there's no application deadline, no complicated forms, and no payments until after graduation. It's easy. Students can apply in minutes 24/7. Call or go online now for more money-saving benefits. And adding a cosigner may lower your interest rate. Act now, and for a limited time, you'll receive a $50 Visa gift card with your loan. Finally, the money you need for college, fast. Call 888-663-7691 or visit chaseed147.com.
There are 380,000 NCAA student athletes. And most of us will go pro in something other than sports. In something other than sports. Go to ncaastudent.org to find out how.
Welcome back to ESPN's College Football. Today's broadcast of the Outback Bowl is brought to you in high definition and presented by Olivia HD. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Rob Stone, our producer Josh Hoffman, our director Jeff Evers, and our outstanding ESPN crew. Delighted to have you with us for the first football game of 2008, the Outback Bowl. Our final game working together. I know we want to thank Josh, Jeff, Andy Davenport, our technical manager, Sarah Hamill, and all of our wonderful colleagues on this crew. It's been a great pleasure to travel all over America with them this year.
They're the offensive line of our team. They do all the dirty work and get it done, and much appreciated to everybody. Thank you.
The former offensive lineman Philip Fulmer looking for something big from his defense here. Wisconsin from their own 38-yard line. The Badgers down 21-14 here in the third quarter. Donovan flushed, running for his life again, and turns it into a quality gain and ducks under another hit along the far sideline. At the 46-yard line, Eric Berry came like a heat-seeking missile. It was Berry who popped Donovan on his touchdown run in the first half.
Yeah, and Donovan doesn't like to slide. He said, why slide? I got hurt last time I slide, but he's got to keep his head up. One thing you'll notice, and he did this on the touchdown run, his head goes down, and he delivers the contact. So sometimes if there's a head-to-head blow, a lot of times it's on the offensive player because his head drops. Barry's got to keep his head up too when he's tackling. I don't see any neck injuries out here. I know what that's about. You don't want it.
He does come flying in with that helmet, frequently it seems leading the way. Zach Brown gets nothing. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Walter Fisher, backup defensive lineman. You know, there's been the perception since Tennessee won that national championship nearly a decade ago that the talent level is way down. We asked Philip Fulmer about that. They haven't won SEC championships, been to BCS bowl games as they once did earlier in Philip Fulmer's tenure. He said along the defensive line, we're certainly not as good as we have been with guys like Harrelson and Henderson and Haynesworth. But in the other areas, we're pretty close.
Yeah, I agree with him. And I do. It's tough to find defensive linemen, especially defensive tackles.
Donovan's pass batted down by Gerard Mayo. Ordinarily middle linebacker, back at home, to use his words, on the outside today. They're without Rico McCoy, a would-be starter, because of an academic suspension. So they moved Mayo back outside, put Elix Wilson in the middle. Mayo said, I like being on the edge.
Yeah, it was an athletic move by Mayo to come over and swat it with the right arm, avoiding contact with Beckham. Beckham has to work the route a little bit, push him in and push out to create separation. No separation was created. Mayo made the play.
Wisconsin gained 8 yards on first down, but did not get the first down on that possession, and the Bush's punt goes into the end zone. Neither team has scored here in the third quarter. 9:25 to go. A 54-yard punt by DeBush. Ainge back on the field after this.
Do I want to continue? Of course. I'm not paying. Schwab is. It's their new checking account. Schwab refunds all ATM fees at any ATM. Plus, they are giving me this ridiculously high interest rate. I mean, my money was just sitting in my old checking account, just kind of sitting there.
I don't think you're supposed to put coins in there.
Want to get away? Now you can. With Southwest Airlines Internet Specials, you can fly to over 60 destinations nationwide for just $49 to $99. Purchased by January 21st.
You are now free to move about the country. Nobody gives you more power than Interstate Batteries. And we have a national warranty program with over 200,000 dealers to back it up. How do we make them so powerful? Now that's a secret. And here's another secret. We've got every battery for every need. Interstate Batteries, the official battery of Joe Gibbs Racing.
The passage is intense. But if you complete the journey, you will find your destiny among the world's greatest warriors. The few, the proud, the Marines.
college football. The Outback Bowl is brought to you by Charles Schwab. Premium service. Expect it. Don't pay it. Talk to Chuck. Charles Schwab. And Southwest Airlines. With Southwest Airlines' convenient nonstop flights, it's like having your own company plane. And Interstate Batteries. For a dealer near you, visit interstatebatteries.com. Every battery for every need.
And welcome back to the Outback Bowl. Happy New Year, everyone. From Tampa, Florida. Tennessee leading Wisconsin 21-14, and the Vols come up 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. The pitch back to Arian Foster, and the junior from San Diego, dropped for a 1-yard loss by Mike Newkirk and O'Brien Schofield. The great views from above today being provided by the Outback Steakhouse airship, the Bloomin' Onion 1. Captain Tom Whitten is at the controls of the Bloomin' Onion, high above the Outback Bowl. It wouldn't be an Outback Bowl without the Bloomin' Onion.
One of the things Wisconsin doing first down, they're bringing the safeties up an 8-man box, and Tennessee's getting nothing as far as push off the football.
Ainge throws it in the flat. It's caught for a short gain. Josh Briscoe tackled immediately by Ben Strickland. We mentioned he's a non-starter, former walk-on who earned a scholarship, voted a team captain, an indication of his character. He was put on scholarship, as was his former high school teammate and former walk-on Steve Johnson, the long snapper. But that's year to year when you're a walk-on given a scholarship. Johnson lost his. Ben Strickland said to his buddy, "You can have mine." Turned his scholarship over to his lifelong pal.
That's teammates, real teammates helping each other out. We love to see that, and not asked and much appreciated by Johnson.
He grew up with Joe Thomas, the great offensive tackle now in the NFL with the Browns. Ainge throws, first down. Austin Rogers, sophomore from Nashville, tackled by Javery McFadden. But it's a 13-yard gain on the completion of Rogers, a good student, a 3.4 grade point average in finance.
Right here, it's a good read by Eric Ainge, going to his right, coming back right to his left. Jonathan Casillas late on breaking on the ball. He has to find where the receiver is. That's twice he tried to undercut. He's been late. Instead of making the tackle, he's let the receiver go for a first down because of poor angles.
Ainge twisting and turning and trying to set up Arian Foster, and DeAndre Levy was right there with him. Ainge has spread it around today without Lucas Taylor, their leading receiver, suspended for academic issues. The players we talked to on the Tennessee team said, hey, we have to treat it just like it's an injury. We're sorry Lucas Taylor isn't here and the 5 others, but we treat them as we would injured players. And they've overcome a lot this year. You mentioned the disappointing 1-2 start. They got hammered early. Now they're dealing with these suspensions. Started out 1-2, won 3 in a row, got routed at Alabama. Philip Fulmer had a team meeting. Brian Schofield put a hit on Ainge, who threw incomplete. Phillips said his message to the team was, we'll be all right if we stop helping the other team. If we make plays we're supposed to make. If we stop turning the ball over. If we get in the right gap defensively. And it was as if the light went on for his team. They won 5 in a row. Many of them close, 2 in overtime. There was a 1-point win as well against Vanderbilt.
It was impressive after they got beat soundly by Alabama. They did bounce back in a big way. You can go one or two ways. Fortunately for Tennessee, they went the right way.
And they felt like they should have won the SEC title game against LSU. They feel like they gave it away. Ainge under a blitz. Threw incomplete to Gerald Jones. So nothing going offensively for the Vols here in the second half. Midway through the third quarter, they'll punt again.
You know, the two defenses in this game kind of mirror their seasons. Both of them started slow in the first half. We had a total of 35 points in the first half. And toward the second half of the season, like the second half of this football game, both defenses have picked it up and played with great intensity and, most importantly, execution.
5th punt from Colquitt. He's done a nice job of kicking it away from the dangerous Gilreath. This one is right to Gilreath at the 21. Waiting for help. Gets a block from Josh Nettles. Gets another block on the corner. And runs out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Chased out by Dennis Rogan. 40-yard punt, 25-yard return by the record-setting return man, the freshman David Gilreath.
And this is one of those no, just hit it up inside, get what you can get. But when you have speed and a belief in your ability, and guys being smart blockers, not blocking behind the ball, but blocking in front of the ball, give a playmaker a chance to make a play. And he made one.
So let it go for a moment. Let your worries drift away, 'cause here we're living for today. Let's go out back tonight.
Let go of the day. Go out back tonight, where fresh salmon is grilled moist and tender, and the steaks are thick and juicy. Your only worry is which to choose.
Let's go out back tonight.
Tonight, let go.
Life will still be there tomorrow.
Go out back.
Get the most college hoops in the nation on ESPN Full Court, presented by Olivia. With the best teams and key matchups from some of college basketball's top conferences, ESPN Full Court brings home the excitement with up to 30 games per week you won't get in your area. ESPN Full Court, presented by Olivia. The most college basketball anywhere. Just $75 for a limited time. Call your pay-per-view provider today. Games also available on ESPN360.com.
They've all reached the pinnacle. They've all tasted success. They all seek final resolution. In 2008, the quest for the TNA World Championship will unfold, and only one will reign supreme. TNA Wrestling presents Final Resolution. Live Sunday, January 6th on pay-per-view.
Some rent-own stores are making a lot of noise these days about matching our prices on the same merchandise. But how are they going to match Aaron's? Aaron's has an unmatched selection of furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers, all brand new, brand names. And nobody beats Aaron's lowest prices. We'll beat any competitor's advertised price, or we'll give you $100. And I'm talking cold cash.
Visit Aaron's in New Boston for the guaranteed lowest prices.
Volunteers trying to finish the season with their 10th win. Whoa, you have fans everywhere.
Wow. That's old school. You know, it's tough to go anywhere in this country and not see an Ohio State jersey, especially this time of year when they're playing for the third national championship in 6 years.
I know your family's here, but I'm pretty sure that was not a member of your family. Lance Smith into the open. They've had a very hard time getting the running game going. Ball came out at the end, but he was ruled down. 11-yard gain there. Wisconsin with only 93 yards rushing for the day. Even with that 11-yard pickup, they averaged 201 per game. But in their 3 losses, they have been stifled on the ground. Losses at Illinois and Penn State and Ohio State. And they've had trouble running against a Tennessee defense that has been the worst under John Chavis against the run. They're giving up 163 yards per game rushing. That is the worst number in Chavis's tenure as the coordinator since '95. Smith again, sophomore from Warren, Ohio, tackled by Elix Wilson near the 40. 3 yards on the gain. Matter of fact, it's back-to-back seasons now that Tennessee has at a standard they don't want to set. Worst numbers against the run defensively.
And a lot of that's due, and we talked to Coach Chavis yesterday. It sounds simple, but it's a lot simpler to say than do. But gap responsibility. If you don't have 11 guys on the same page, and you get against a good football team, they'll exploit that in a hurry. And that was the big problem at the beginning of the season, was their gap integrity on defense.
Tyler Donovan to pass on 2nd and 7. Throws incomplete for Kyle Jefferson, who was open. It wasn't a particularly accurate throw. Still no completions from Donovan to Travis Beckham today, who came in their leading receiver with 73 receptions.
And only 1 attempt And Tyler's been trying to spread the ball around, and he's doing a pretty good job of it. But eventually, when you have that kind of production, not getting his hands on the ball, I think you're doing your team an injustice. Now, they'll try, but to me, Travis is running some lazy routes today. He's got to pick it up and get the matchup that he wants so Tyler can find him.
3rd and 7. Wisconsin to the Tennessee 40. Donovan given plenty of time that time, and it's another drop ball by Jefferson. That one could not have been more well thrown.
Well, they used Beckham as the decoy. Beckham comes from the backside. He's going to come across one low, one high. When you get people jumping underneath on the low routes, it should clear the middle of the field, which it does. Tyler Donovan on the proper read and delivers the ball where it needs to be delivered because the linebackers are short in their drops, and you got to make plays. The freshman, he's no longer a true freshman. He's been playing all year. Make the play.
Stepped in when Luke Swan was injured. The Bush is punt, and there's Ben Strickland in the right place again to down it at the 1.
Ben Strickland at 1.
Frenchigan helped decide the Pontiac game-changing performance of the year. Vote at ESPN.com. Search Pontiac to determine which school will win the $100,000 general scholarship fund contribution, courtesy of Pontiac. Several memorable plays to choose from.
Corey Lynch with the block against Michigan and a pickup from Appalachian State, FCS national champions.
Balls from their own 1-yard line. Montario Hardesty, the running back. And he just did get out of the end zone and got it across the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Casillas made the tackle.
I love the call by Mike Hankwitz right there. Line up outside, man-to-man, and let's blitz. Take a gamble that they're going to run. They're not going to hit you with play action. It almost paid off. Casillas just couldn't get his head in front, and that allowed Montario to fall forward after contact.
Range out of the shotgun in the end zone. Almost to the back line of the end zone and throws incomplete. Broken up by Jay Valai. Backup safety. It was intended for Austin Rogers.
Valai's in there for Aubrey Pleasant. Aubrey Pleasant has been absent so far the second half. Valai doing a good job of waiting, and timing it perfectly, arriving with the contact when the ball arrives at the receiver.
Third down and 9. Tennessee from its own 2. Dumped off short to Chris Brown. He slips down as he crossed the 5-yard line. With Jonathan Casillas in the neighborhood. Let's check in with Reese Davis, the Sports Center 30 at 30 update.
All right, Sean, underway already with what you guys, not too far away from where you guys are, Southwest Airlines update. Michigan and Florida. Chad Henne firing at darts to Mario Manningham, 19 yards. Gators have missed a field goal. Wolverines have the ball back, and a very interested observer, new Michigan head coach Rich Rodriguez on hand watching.
And down on the sideline. So here's Britton Colquitt to punt from the back of his end zone. And it's a good kick. Gilreath retreats to his own 42. And excellent coverage by Tennessee as well. Quentin Hancock covers the punt. 52 yards.
Go online and watch Capital One Bowl Week live, or replay your favorite moments and catch the games you missed. ESPN360.com. Log on today.
The sun, blue sea, blue sky, spread your wings and fly. It's where you wanna go. It's where you wanna be. The club, the bay, and everything in between.
complete.
Now, nothing can stop me from building my own Capital One credit card.
Make my rewards double point and a low interest rate. And I want a picture of kittens on it.
War kittens?
No, just like regular cute kittens. Baby cats.
Introducing Capital One Card Lab. Customize your card by choosing your rewards, interest rate, even upload your own image at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? And here's what she said to me.
The XPS 1, powered by an Intel Core 2 Duo processor. Dell, yours is here.
Oh, I have the worst cold.
Here, take some NyQuil. It'll relieve your symptoms to help you sleep.
Huh?
Yeah, you'll sleep like a bit. You'll sleep like a sleep like you did before the rooster went blind.
NyQuil.
I'll take that.
The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, best sleep you ever got with a cold medicine. For daytime symptoms, try DayQuil.
From the Bloomin' Onion Airship, a look at Legends Field, the spring training home of the New York Yankees, which is just across the street, across Dale Mabry from Raymond James Stadium. Home of the Outback Bowl, home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of the National Football League. Congratulations to John Gruden and his team for a terrific year on their way to the playoffs. On first down, it's P.J. Hill. Chris Spielman said during the commercial you'd expect P.J. Hill with 10 carries for 49 yards in the first half and hadn't touched it in this half. He goes for 17 on his first carry of the third quarter.
Well, just kind of waiting for it, and P.J. of course gets to the second level untouched, and Presley throws a nice lead block on Mayo. Mayo gives up 1 for 1. P.J. just reads the block, cuts whatever way the linebacker goes opposite. P.J. Hill downhill. Once he gets going, guys, I'm telling you, he's tough to stop. I would keep feeding him. Feeding.
1,000-yard rusher each of his first 2 seasons. The only others to do that at Wisconsin, Anthony Davis and Ron Dane. Under 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Neither team has scored in this half. Donovan on a design run gets about 7. Chased to the boundary by Jonathan Hefney. Tyler has spent a lot of time in this Tampa Bay area. His family has a condominium in St. Petersburg. His mom, Brenda, is an engineer with General Electric. His dad is a contractor, builds houses. We said to him yesterday, your family must do very well if you have a condo down here. He said, well, it's shared by aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
Brenda, a beginning golfer, who just saw herself on the big screen here, had a hole-in-one this summer playing with Tyler.
No, I mean, that's the type of athlete she is. Pick up a golf club and play with you.
He said it was about a 100-yard hole up the hill, so they didn't know that it went in the cup, so they got up there and couldn't find the ball, and they looked in the cup, and his mom had a hole-in-one. P.J. Hill carried to the 29-yard line.
Just the importance of P.J. Hill, the play before that. P.J. had a nice 11, 12-yard gain the play before. Well, then they come back with fake to P.J. Hill. You have the whole orange shirts running to P.J. Hill. Tyler keeps it around. Now you come back and smack him up the middle. And I was waiting for it. Now he's coming out. And this might be a question of whether his conditioning, missing the last 3 ball games. But get your rest, get him his water, and get him back in.
First and 10. 23 yards on 2 carries on this drive for Hill. Donovan again, running right. Lunges ahead to the 23-yard line. Eric Berry chasing him again.
You know, Sean, you talk about the speed of the SEC. Well, Dorian Davis has an angle on Tyler Donovan. Tyler Donovan's a big, thick-ankle Big Ten quarterback that outran Dorian Davis to the corner right there. And then Dorian Davis could run. He just took the proper poor angle. But again, I think that's so overblown. It really makes no sense if you sit down and watch guys on film and watch guys perform.
We talked at the top of the telecast about the idea that the Big Ten can't compete speed-wise against some of the top teams from other conferences, particularly the SEC. Zach Brown carries for a couple. We showed the numbers at the top of the telecast. The last 8 seasons, 22 head-to-head matchups between the Big Ten and the SEC. They've each won 11. I think Brett Bielema made a very good point when we spoke with him. He said everybody looks back at that Ohio State-Florida game in the national championship and says, whoa, they just couldn't keep up with Florida's speed. He said the reality is Ohio State just had a bad day. He said look at the total body of work. We compete speed-wise with any conference.
If you match 40s with Ohio State and Florida as far as pure speed, Ohio State probably would have came on top last year. But when you're talking about Ohio State got beat last year because they got beat physically in every part of the game. Had nothing to do with track meets.
Third down and 3, and they convert on the completion to Garrett Graham. So it's to the 15-yard line, and Ohio State would seem to have the biggest issue perhaps as they head into the national championship game this year, being the home field advantage for LSU.
Well, it's going to be a great game. I know Ohio State's kind of taking a different approach. I had a chance to speak with Jim Tressel before I left Columbus on our little bowl tour, and he's focused. He seems a little bit different. He said the kids are so serious. They're into it. It's just a little different mindset coming in this game because they did get humbled in a big way by Florida last year. They don't want that to happen to them again.
DJ Hill on 1st and 10 from the 15. Carries to the 11. Gerard Mayo made the tackle.
This is right out of Wisconsin's playbook, isn't it? Eating the clock, run, 3 yards, 4 yards, making things happen and hitting the play action off of it. And by the way, running that clock down with 1:37 and ticking in the 3rd quarter, keeping that powerful Tennessee offense and Eric Ainge off the field.
Minute and a half left, 3rd quarter. Neither team has scored since halftime. Tennessee had a 14-point lead, 21-7 in the first half. The Vols have not trailed. And Hill showing that he's pretty nimble for a big guy. Gets a yard as he sidestepped would-be tacklers. Mayo to tackle again. Hill had a big freshman year a year ago, rushed for 1,569 yards. Toned up his body a little bit. Some thought maybe he changed his running style. The coach said, no, not really. He just toned up his body a little bit.
And you see the big fella right there with the stop-and-go moves. And, you know, one thing Wisconsin has always had, always will have, is tailbacks, a plethora of them. And they'll continue to have that competition. And PJ started practicing a little bit better when we saw Zach Brown and Lance Smith practicing pretty well.
Big play here, 3rd down and 5 from the Tennessee 10. The toss back to Smith. Flag down to the corner. He's down to the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Hefney, the veteran senior, playing in his last game, making a school record 50th start. It's the all-time record. Jeff Hall, a kicker, also started 50 straight games for Tennessee.
We'll see right here.
Legal formation.
Take a look at
Beckham's.
Beckham's.
Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. Penalties decline. 4th down.
And yet, again, that's number 4. Illegal formations.
Yeah.
5, actually. 3 of them, they had to take timeouts because they were lined up in illegal formations. Sometimes you get a little bit tricky. In bowl practice, maybe you're trying a few different wrinkles with your formations. You got to get organized. It already cost them 3 timeouts this football game and a lot of penalty yards.
Now Taylor Melhoff from a tough angle from the left hash mark from 27 yards. Had another very good year, 20 out of 24. He's the most accurate field goal kicker in Wisconsin history at 76.6%. And he hooks that one through. Semi-finalist this year for the Luke Rose Award to the best kicker in the nation. Went to Thomas Weber of Arizona State. But the drive results in 3 points. A 10-play drive that took more than 4 minutes off the clock. But Tennessee still has the lead, 21-17 with 9 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter here at the Outback Bowl.
It's vital for Tennessee to get something going offensively. Just something, because just to give their defensive rest because of the pounding that Wisconsin has given to start the 3rd quarter. Tennessee has to get some type of ball control to get control of this ball game again. And they took control in the 2nd quarter, in the first half. See if they can do it back here in the 4th quarter.
Wisconsin Badgers 9-3 for Brett Bielema, 3rd youngest coach in the country. At age 37, and already enormous success for the former defensive lineman at Iowa, where he walked on and became a team captain.
Yeah, and really he's done a great job, and with the legacy that Barry Alvarez created, Wisconsin's always had great players and a long storied history in football. Barry Alvarez made them into the winner that they are today, and that's a testament to Barry and what type of coach he was, leaving Brett with the program, and Brett has done nothing but uphold the standard that Barry has set.
Taylor Melhoff will kick off to Lennon Creer and Dennis Rogan, a couple of freshmen back deep for Tennessee. Good kick, high and deep. Takes Creer about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Well, it's New Year's Day. Annually a great day of college football. And how about this? On this New Year's Day, all 4 finalists for the Heisman Trophy are in action. Tim Tebow, Colt Brennan, Chase Daniel, and Darren McFadden. A lot of people anxious to see Colt Brennan in the Sugar Bowl against Georgia. We've seen him 3 times, and we like him, so we're a little biased. But it would not surprise me at all if Hawaii won that game.
No, I think Hawaii's going to come there and compete, and their defense is much better. And Colt Brennan, you can say what you want about his release, this, that. But one thing I know, he's accurate. Very accurate.
Ainge is accurate as well, and that was right off the shoulder pads of Josh Briscoe. Ainge was not particularly accurate his first 2 years at Tennessee. 55% as a freshman, 45% as a sophomore, but then David Cutcliffe came back to Tennessee as the offensive coordinator. They've done a lot of work on mechanics. Last year 67% for Ainge, and this year 63%, while battling some injuries. It averages out to almost 65% with Cutcliffe, 51% before David came back. Oh, trouble with the pitch by Hardesty, and he falls on it. And that'll end a gruesome third quarter offensively for Philip Fulmer and the Volunteers. And it is starting to aggravate Coach Fulmer. We head to the 4th at the Outback Bowl. 21-17 Tennessee.
ESPN, your NBA destination for games Wednesdays and Fridays all season long.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
Boy, the 80s were the good old days. Man, I looked skinny back then, too.
Chuck, do I really have to watch this just to get in your 5?
If you want to get in my 5, that's the least you can do. That's impressive.
Now, that was impressive. The way you squeeze into those tight little shorts.
Who's in your fave 5?
Sexy.
My fave's from T-Mobile. Unlimited calls to your 5 favorite people.
There's a world outside every darkened door where the brave are free and lovers soar. Come ride with me to the distant shore. Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all night long.
Ever since there were cars, Americans have had a love affair with the open road. And with quality gasoline and great snacks coast to coast, Valero is your perfect travel companion. Valero, the all-American gasoline for the all-American love affair.
All these cities and all these towns, it's in my blood and it's all around.
I want Roadrunner.
Time Warner's holiday celebration is here.
I want phone service.
Add Roadrunner or digital phone service for as low as $19.95 a month for 12 months. Or add both for as low as $39.90 a month for 12 months. Other money-saving options are also available. But hurry! It's for 4 days only. Offer ends Sunday, so call 614-481-5320 now. Make the holidays merrier. Call today.
I want Time Warner, yeah!
Who are the toughest men and women in the tri-state area? Coors Light and 84 Lumber present the 20th annual Original Tough Man Contest. Welcome by WTCR, WAMX, and Network West Virginia. It's coming this Friday and Saturday night to Huntington's Big Sandy Superstore Arena. Good seats are still available. Call 1-800-296-3897. That's 1-800-296-3897. Tough it out.
The tradition in Madison at Camp Randall Stadium in home games for Wisconsin after the third quarter. Jump around. They brought that tradition here to Tampa. Offenses didn't do much jumping around in that third quarter. Tennessee had only 11 yards of offense in quarter three. And they open the fourth quarter with 3rd down and 16 from their own 14-yard line, leading 21-17. Haynes throws a bullet. Josh Briscoe a first down out to the 35-yard line. Javery McFadden made the tackle, but that's 21 yards and a huge completion.
That's the shot right there. This is where, look at the throwing lane that he has. You give him that kind of time in the window and vision to see the post inside the linebacker and underneath the safeties, and he'll make you pay every time. Again, we talk about the accuracy of Colt Brennan. Well, Eric Ainge, when given time, Sean, does not miss.
5 catches for Briscoe. Ainge has already graduated, did so in December with a degree in political science, better than a 3.4 grade point average. He's on target to Arian Foster. DeAndre Levy right there, 2 yards on the gain. Here's Rob.
According to Todd McShay of ESPN Scouts Inc., Ainge, a mid to late round NFL prospect. He's made significant improvements since offensive coordinator David Cutcliffe joined the staff. Smarter decisions, better reads. He's accurate in those short to intermediate tosses. Limited mobility and limited arm strength holding him back right now. He's number 10 on the senior quarterback depth chart.
That's where he would really help himself whatever all-star game he goes to, so he can go eye to eye and toe to toe with his competition once the draft comes around.
Forced to scramble and throws back over the middle, incomplete in the direction of Chris Brown. Brown has just 1 catch today. He set the Tennessee tight end record with 40 catches this season.
It's kind of been quiet today also, as 1 or 2 catches. And the thing that Tennessee does not have that Wisconsin started to establish in the second half is something on the ground. I mean, they're hanging their hat on every play as pass, where Arian Foster is no longer a factor. So the pass rushers get their ears pinned back and they keep coming.
They converted a 3rd down and 16 a moment ago. Now 3rd down and 8. Wisconsin showing blitz, and they bring it right up the middle. Ainge got it off. First down. Denarius Moore. Pulled out of bounds by Josh Nettles. But Ainge hung in there in the face of the blitz. They've given up only 4 sacks all year long and none today.
Ben Strickland's going to come from a safety spot right up the middle untouched. Eric Ainge reads the blitz, understands where his blitz read or hot read is, throws off of his back foot very well. Sometimes I think he throws off a little bit too much, but if you're accurate like that and you have run after catch ability like that, keep going to it. And if I'm Wisconsin, don't blitz him because they're going to make you pay before it's over.
Tennessee to the Wisconsin 39-yard line. Ainge with time again. Throws short for Briscoe to the 34, gain of 5. When we asked Philip Fulmer about the incredibly low sack numbers, by far the fewest in the country, only 4 sacks allowed, 1 every 124 pass attempts. He said he thinks it's a combination of very good line play, good schemes, and Ainge's ability to get rid of the ball quickly. As you said, there's some who think he throws it away too quickly, when if he hung on another second or 2 longer, might be able to make some plays when they get out of some prematurely.
Well, he did a good job of holding on to that one that time. Backpedaling out of Ben Strickland's reach and able to throw the ball. And Greg Atkins, the offensive line coach, has done a real nice job.
Arian Foster, 1,000-yard rusher this year, pulled down by Jonathan Casillas on the corner, short of the first down. Not only is that sack number the lowest in the country, it is the lowest comfortably. Rutgers next. 9 sacks allowed as they head to the International Bowl up in Toronto.
Yeah, and Rutgers played Ball State up in the International Bowl, which should be an interesting game. But they do a good job. A lot of the reason why the sacks were because of play action when you have a guy like Ray Rice.
Third down conversion of this possession for Eric Ainge and the Vols. Doesn't have anywhere to throw it. Now throws it. And it is caught by Briscoe, but he's out of bounds.
I like the call here if they go for it on 4th down. 4th and 3. And here, Ainge on the run. A little bit late to Briscoe, but a well-thrown ball, only where Briscoe could get it. Just out of the reach where his feet could not stay in bounds. Nice
go for it on 4th down and 3. They have a good kicker in Lincoln. This would be about a 49-yard field goal try. 8 out of 16 this year on 4th down to the Volunteers. Ainge over 300 yards passing now with 304. Blitz again. Quick throw again. 1st down again. Gerald Jones all the way to the 15. Well, they keep blitzing Ainge on 3rd down. He keeps converting. That one's good for 17.
One of his strengths and maybe a little bit of his weakness is getting rid of the ball in a hurry. Well, this is his knowing the offense, knowing defenses. Look where his eyes went. He saw the pressure from Casillas coming. He goes right to his hot route, Jones. And Jones already showed in the first half with his touchdown run what he can do with the ball. Here again, breaking tacklers and running with power and purpose.
And Jones lines up at quarterback. 2 carries for 39 yards against LSU in the title game. Scored a touchdown earlier out of the quarterback position. Gave it this time to Arian Foster. He's to the 9-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup. And a very impressive drive to open the 4th quarter by Tennessee after they had 11 yards of offense in the 3rd quarter.
That didn't do much, but with Jones with the ball in his hands, what that did was did not allow Jonathan Casillas to close down on Foster, who had the angle, because he had to honor Jones just in case he ran a zone read and pulled it out of Foster's stomach and took off around the end, which allowed Foster to get 6 because Casillas was a non-factor.
12th play of the drive started at their own 20. Jones keeps it. There's nobody to pitch it to, and Casillas swings him down. Looked like an option look where there was no option for Jones.
Well, Vladimir Richard is pointing to Jones and saying you're supposed to go the other way. And again, it's you wonder why of the trickiness right now.
And where's Ainge? I mean, Ainge has brought him all the way down the field. You know, unless he's injured, it's a little hard to understand. You can understand one play perhaps with this wrinkle, but
3rd down, 3rd and 8, and you got Jones as your quarterback.
I wonder if there's something. Well, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with Ainge. 3rd down and 7 when Jones is in there. It's almost definitely going to be a run, and Wisconsin knows that. Matthew Shaughnessy made the tackle. Well, Philip Fulmer took a lot of heat this year. There were many in Tennessee calling for his head. Around Halloween, there was even a cartoon in a newspaper with the Grim Reaper at Philip Fulmer's door. The players said that really upset them, but Fulmer just made a joke about it. But then the late season run earned him a 1-year contract extension and a raise through 2013. But at one point in the year, 191 former players took an ad out in the Knoxville paper to express their support of Philip Fulmer because he was taking so much heat. They felt he needed that support.
Yeah, I think he deserves it. He got it. But
Lincoln's kick is blocked by Elijah Hodge. And Ben Strickland falls on the ball out at the 27-yard line.
You remember Elijah Hodge got a piece of an extra point, and that's effort, never quitting. And you'll see Elijah Hodge, he got a piece of an extra point back in the first half. Here he comes again, hands up right there. The little fella extending and getting the right palm up there. Elijah's no 6-foot climber. Does a good job. And again, Wisconsin making a play, and that man coaches special teams, and is direct reflection of how the special teams are playing, how he's coaching this game today.
So the Badgers will have the ball back, down by 4 points with 9:40 to go when we come back to the Outback Bowl in Tampa.
The Under Armour High School All-America game presented by ESPNU. Saturday at 2 on ABC.
there was a titanic clash of muck and man. The Mud Bowl. By game's end, the two teams shared a common uniform and one huge hunger. Introducing Campbell's Chunky Fully Loaded, the new Chunky in the black can. Fully loaded soups like rigatoni and meatballs with extreme amounts of meat to feed an NFL-size hunger. And yes, Mom, they washed their hands before they ate. New Campbell's Chunky Fully Loaded in the black can.
But then Bobby said, like, why don't you take Samantha? But then Susie was all like, no, you can't do that because, Dad, this is really Old Mutual.
Bridge or tunnel?
Bridge, please. It's much more Old Mutual this time of day.
I want you to focus on one thing and one thing only. Protect the Old Mutual. You got that?
May sound strange now, but with our new thinking about your financial future, it won't for long.
It's completely Old Mutual.
If you say so.
Pepperminted cools as you chew. New 5 gum. Stimulate your senses.
Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. Illinois versus USC today at 4:30 Eastern on ABC.
Today's game track is brought to you by American Chemical. Eric Gaines has had a big day. He's thrown for 321 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tyler Donovan keeps getting walloped and keeps answering the bell to keep his team within 4 points. He's been hurt by some drops here. 2 notable drops by Kyle Jefferson in the third quarter. Now we're in the fourth. 9:40 to go. And curious play calling today from Tennessee a couple times in the red zone. They went to that trick play in the first half. Ainge tried to hand it off between the legs to Lennon Creer, who fumbled. And now they take Ainge out of the game for a number of consecutive plays when they're in the red zone. Do not score.
Yeah, I don't understand taking a guy that's going for 321 and 2 touchdowns out of the game when he got you down there. The other thing is that's Wisconsin's 4th timeout because it can't line up on offense. And that, you know, it's the layoff. I don't know what it is, but that's something that Coach Bielema will address, and certainly not reflective of a Paul Chryst coach offense.
Beckham agitated as he comes to the sideline. You can imagine he's a little frustrated too. Still without a catch. And while they talk it over, here's Reese Davis.
All right, Sean, I want to check in on the Gator Bowl. That's Texas Tech and Virginia. Red Raiders had a 7-0 lead. Jamil Sewell, look at him go all Tebow. The jump pass to Jonathan Stupar. Stupar caught it, and then Virginia caught Graham Harrell grounding in the end zone for the safety. It's 9-7, Cavaliers with the lead.
Already been a terrific season for Al Groh. What a great coaching job he and his staff have done this year.
I don't know how much Al likes defending 5 wide receivers, though. That's kind of opposite of the type of guy Al is.
P.J. Hill bowling over Tennessee Vols. He gets to the 32, a 5-yard run. Antonio Reynolds, Elix Wilson in on the stop for the Vols. Under 9.5 minutes to go. Wisconsin down to 1 timeout left. Down by 4.
I think Elix Wilson has done a nice job filling in for Rico McCoy. And actually filling in for Gerard Mayo, who moved to the weak side. And Elix took Gerard's spot at the middle linebackers. Played a solid football game today.
15 carries, 82 yards for P.J. Hill. He's the lone back. 2 tight ends on the field for the Badgers. Hill again showing that shiftiness behind the line. Looking to go. Hefney and Berry, and it's Hefney who tracks him down at the 18-yard line.
Deceptively quick and great feet for the big fella. Reminds me of Ron Dane with a little bit more of a burst. Watch this right here. Watch him move. Just enough to see the vision, cut and make a second cut back, and it takes him about 35, 40 yards to run him down, where Hefney finally got him by the shoelaces. Great vision, cut, and burst, and he's off to the races. Now you know you're going to get tracked down, protect the football.
50-yard run for Hill. 16 carries, 132 yards for the 227-pounder. Lance Smith, the tailback. He dances to the right and gets next to nothing. Gerard Mayo tackles him after a 1-yard gain.
You know, Lance has not played a lot, only in the home games, as you mentioned earlier. And sometimes when the cutback's not there, you put your face in the line of scrimmage and you drive those legs and take 3 yards. You don't need the game breaker every single down. So 3-yard gain is good. 4-yard gain is good.
Under 8 minutes to go. Wisconsin has not led in the game. They're poised to take the lead here. In the red zone at the 17-yard line of Tennessee. They hand it off to Smith on that fly sweep, and he's in trouble and dropped for a loss by D'Angelo Willingham.
An excellent job of stringing it out and letting the speed of the Tennessee defense get to the corner. If that play doesn't get a short corner in a hurry, it's usually going to be doomed for no loss or no gain or a big loss. And that time, Tennessee's defense did a good job of stringing it out of line of scrimmage until the cavalry came. The cavalry came in the name of Willingham.
3rd down and 11. Zach Brown is the running back. Four-man rush for Tennessee. Donovan with time, throws. It's caught, but short of the first down. Travis Beckham's first catch of the day, his 74th of the season, and Brett Bielema has a tough call here. 4th down and a little over a yard, it appears.
And 2 things, Travis. Ideally, you want to run the route to the sticks. Travis didn't take it to the sticks. Or if you don't run it to the sticks, Tyler wants to give Travis a chance to catch the ball high so he can do something and fall forward for the first down.
Yeah, I think a better throw, and Beckham would have had time to turn and get it. They're going to go for it here. Why not with their power running game? Officially 4th and 2. It doesn't look to be 2 full yards. P.J. Hill back in as you'd expect. They're 9 out of 15 this year on 4th down. And it's Donovan on a design rollout. And now he's looking for help. And he is out of time and throws it away. Gerard Mayo put the lick on Donovan. And again, you know, you have P.J. Hill. You've been gashing him on the ground. Well, yeah, they go to this. A little bit of trickery.
I don't get it, but look, if it doesn't work, it's a bad call. If it works, it's a good call, but I'm with you, Sean. It's the same thing with Tennessee. Why do something different? You have your big fellas, you have big offensive line, Presley at 270, leading 250 through the hole. Play your odds.
You think one of the reasons they decided to go for it is because they know they're such a good power running team in short yardage situations.
Great stand by John Chavis, Phil Fulmer, and the Tennessee defense. After giving up the 50-yard run, they buckle down and get a great 4th down stop on Wisconsin. And Mayo, the star of the defense, outstanding football player, caused the pressure and told Donovan, throw it away. There's nobody open, and I'm going to give you a whack.
Mayo came in with at least 15 tackles in each of the last 3 games.
All about the instincts. That's what makes him a good football player. He's fast. He says he's a 4.5. I know he's got a lovely girlfriend who's a track star.
Yeah, Courtney Champion. She's a sprinter. We said, well, who's faster? He said, I'm faster in the 40. She might beat me in the 100. He said, I run a 4.5 40. I think I'm a little faster in the first 40. 13 tackles for Mayo today. And while we have a moment, here's Rob Stone.
Well, Sean, prior to that last Tennessee offensive drive and then this one by Wisconsin, this Tennessee sideline, flat, solemn, low energy, particularly that Tennessee defensive bench. Chris, you mentioned that they've been on the field so much, so little time to relax. And Gerard Mayo, who made that big play there, was really hurting. He had come out early with a shock to the groin. They were doing some stretching of the groin and the hip flexor, spent multiple times on the exercise bike to warm up, and he is still a little bit gassed. Keep an eye on him as this one continues. But the big stud, the junior, able to fight through it.
He made a play when a play needed to be made. And I thought Tyler Donovan, he might have did one of his patent, put his head down and dive for the first down. Instead, he chose to throw it, maybe because Mayo was honing in.
Foster carried on first down for 4. Haynes faked it to him that time. Throws while retreating. And Brad Cottom was well covered by DeAndre Levy.
There's a little bit of lack of mobility that some people say Eric doesn't have, because if he was a running quarterback, he had all kind of real estate to use. Schofield got caught inside. He broke contain. And his eyes never decided. He never even thought about running that football.
A number of key third down conversions on their last possession when they drove into the red zone, get stopped and had a field goal blocked. Here's a 3rd down and 6. 5:12 to go. Tennessee leads by 4. On their own 14. Ainge trying to set up a screen. Foster burst through the defense. First down. As he rolls out to the 29-yard line. Ben Strickland chopped him down.
It's a great call by David Cutcliffe right there. Wisconsin normally in 3rd down has been bringing blitzes. This time they only come with a 4-man rush. But the timing is perfect. It allows the offensive lineman to create separation with the running back so he can get the blocks on the defenders down the field, and allows Arian Foster to read those blocks. Excellent call, excellent execution by the Volunteer offense.
One of the bright offensive minds in the country, David Cutcliffe, in his last game at Tennessee, he'll leave to be the Duke head coach. He is very excited about that opportunity. He believes they have the potential to take that program and make it outstanding. They're one of the worst in the country right now. Austin Rogers tackled by Ben Strickland. He said they're going to make the commitment that it takes. They've already started to do it with the resources to make sure that he hires outstanding assistant coaches.
Well, we asked him, how's he doing both? He says Tennessee by day, Duke by night.
Yep. And immersed in his job during the day for Tennessee, at night accumulating a staff. Which part of it helps that it's been a dead period in recruiting, so he doesn't have to worry about being on the road recruiting for Duke. Foster tackled by Elijah Hodge at the 35-yard line. Here comes another big 3rd down for Tennessee as the clock rolls under 4 minutes remaining.
One of Tennessee's strengths, and it's been their strength today, is that they spread the ball around to different wide receivers, so it's hard to defend if you're Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin brought 4 last time to hit him with a screen, but on 3rd downs, their tendency has been to bring the blitz, where Eric Ainge has hurt them with his hot reads and his ability to find the weakness of the defense in the coverage.
Three and a half minutes to go. 3rd down and 4. Ainge dumps it off. Here's Briscoe with another 3rd down conversion, and he flies into Wisconsin territory. Badgers saying that he fumbled, and they have the ball, and the officials are conferring, and they do have the ball. Jay Valai came away with it. And the officials continue to talk.
Well, there's so many dynamics on this play.
Well, they just showed a replay on the big screen, and the Wisconsin fans think it was a legitimate takeaway by Valai.
You see it right here.
The previous play will be reviewed.
Yep. Whoa, did he have it in bounds? O'Brien Schofield knocked the ball out, and then Valai was there. They're going to review it as we go to a break. 3:19 to go. A huge official review upcoming.
Let's kick back for the moment. Toss all your worries in the air, 'cause you'll forget them when you're there. Let's go Outback tonight.
Let go of the day. Go Go Outback tonight, where the steak is thick and juicy, the shrimp is grilled and sweet, the chicken tender. Your only worry is which to choose.
Let's go Outback tonight.
Tonight, let go.
Life will still be there tomorrow.
Go Outback.
Dougie, Dougie.
What?
Have you seen how easy GoDaddy.com is?
Huh?
Yeah, I just bought you for $1.99.
Did not.
Yeah, I did.
Dog nabbit.
Whoops, just did your dog.
Mr. Winky? My wife loves Mr. Winky.
Ah, now I'm gonna do your wife.
Your mother.
You know I'm gonna do your mother now.
Too late. I already did my mother.
Pervert.
The foundation of any solid structure is the key to a building's strength. The same is true with advertising your business. You need an advertising partner who will not just make a sale, they'll make a difference. The professionals of Suddenlink Media have been building advertising partnerships with business owners for over 20 years. They're known for their ability to design effective, affordable advertising campaigns. Find out why so many business owners use cable television as their foundation for success in their advertising plans. Call Suddenlink Media today to begin building your foundation for success.
Something strange happens to people this time of year. They look for reasons to buy a new Toyota. We call it the Toyotathon phenomenon. Now, Toyota has just announced $500 cash back on a new 08 Camry for the first time ever. Or lease a new 08 Camry, well-equipped, for just $209 a month. There's never been a better time to get the new Toyota you've always wanted or needed. Hurry in. The Toyotathon phenomenon is going on now.
Huh? Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Rob Stone back at the Outback Bowl. The official review is ongoing. We've seen this replay many times during the break. It does look like a fumble inbounds by Briscoe, but it does not appear that Jay Valai ever had possession of the ball inbounds and retained possession. I think this ball is going to go back to Tennessee.
Yeah, I think all indications. Ball never clearly in his possession. Good job by Schofield hustling down the field. Valai just couldn't hold on to the football.
Good rule of a fumble and a recovery by Wisconsin. So they're looking for evidence to overturn the call. If they're going to, it has to be indisputable. Jack McDonald, the replay official. Bruce Payne, Chad Bunn, Justin Rudd assisting him in the booth. The referee is Scott Novak. And this is really the first major replay review of the game, and it is a big one for Jack McDonald. I'm surprised it's taken this long, because they said we saw it a bunch of times during the commercial break, and to us it just never appeared that Valai had the ball in his possession in bounds.
No, it should be Tennessee's football. And it was a play. Now it was an interesting play. It kind of ran a nice little pick play against Wisconsin's man-to-man defense. And if the ball was thrown past the line of scrimmage, it was an illegal play. If it was thrown behind the line of scrimmage, it was a legal play. Don't set it. There's Valai. Now watch this play right here. He's going to come in and pick Strickland, who's coming with his man in motion. That's Strickland's man. Watch Cotton right there. And we'll see where the ball is caught. If the ball's caught behind the line of scrimmage, it's a legal play. That's a legal play, and it's an excellent call because Cotton comes across the line of scrimmage, picks off Strickland, drills him. Nobody's accounting for the Briscoe who's coming in motion. Execution, and David Cutcliffe, again, drawing him up there. Beautiful call on a crucial third down.
Well, this replay review is taking forever. I mean, it might be the deciding factor in the game here, so it's critical, but we've had a commercial break. We had time before the break and time after, and it's still going on. And these coaches are on pins and needles awaiting the word from Scott Novak. Right now they have the ball spotted at the 40-yard line, and it would be Wisconsin's ball, 1st and 10 with 3:19 to go. Another big factor here, Chris, is because of the difficulties lining up for Wisconsin and the burning of timeouts, they only have one timeout left.
Yeah, and that whenever you use timeouts early, especially in the second half, that's your fear.
If Tennessee keeps the ball, gets it back here, it's critical because Wisconsin is really going to be in difficulty in terms of the time remaining.
After review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The Wisconsin player did not have possession of the ball inbound. It is
I think they got it right. I just can't understand why it took so long.
No, I don't know why it took so long, but I know that's why replay is in place, because that was a crucial time in a crucial game. And it's no lack of a lie. He's trying. He's coming full speed.
That's a fumble, but he's already on the line, and then the ball, as you see, is not in his grasp. I mean, it's out. Well, maybe it didn't hit the ground, but still, he didn't have possession of it going over the boundary. If he gets possession of out of bounds, he's out of bounds.
If I'm Eric Ainge and I'm in that huddle, and I'm telling my offensive line, guys, we get a first down. We're going to force them to use a timeout. We can run the clock. Block like you've never blocked in your life.
And then the clock runs with 3:10 to go. Arian Foster. No gain on the play. DeAndre Levy, the linebacker, junior from Milwaukee, made the tackle. Under 3 minutes to go. Only one timeout left for Wisconsin.
Keep in mind that Arian Foster has, and he'll dispute it, has the reputation of putting the ball on the deck, and Wisconsin feels like he can put the ball on the deck. If I'm Arian, he's coming in there a little bit loose. I cover it up with 2 hands because you know the Badger defense are going to come tackle that football.
When we spoke to Arian yesterday, he said, I've only fumbled 4 times, but some of them have been in key spots. But Wisconsin coaches said they've been working on batting the ball away from Foster because they think he is fumble prone. Matthew Shaughnessy there to drop him for a loss. Back to the 44-yard line. Would you use your last time out here if you were Wisconsin?
I'd save it for the offense right now.
Well, you can better manage the time remaining when you have the ball.
Yeah. I think after this play, I might use it, yes.
But they might throw on 3rd down and 15, and if it's an incomplete pass, you wouldn't have to use it.
I guarantee you they won't throw the ball. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I wouldn't throw the ball. I'd put it that way.
Taking a long time to get it in, and it looks like they'll either use a timeout when the play clock runs down or take the delay of game penalty because they're not likely to get the snap off here. Timeout. 1:38 to go. 2 timeouts left for Philip Fulmer and the Volunteers. Well, it's been nip and tuck throughout. It's a 4-point game. 1:38 to go here at the Outback Bowl in Tampa.
At T. Rowe Price, successful investing is about balancing risk and reward intelligently. For each 3, 5, and 10-year period, over 70% of our mutual funds beat their Lipper average, finding the right opportunity. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
They came in an instant. They destroyed everything. My people, my friends, my home. All I have left is vengeance.
Unreal Tournament 3, rated M for mature.
PlayStation 3, starting at $399. Blu-ray movies on PlayStation 3, starting at $399.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
ESPN College Football, the Outback Bowl, is brought to you by Outback Steakhouse. Let go of the day. Go Outback tonight. And GoDaddy.com, world's #1 in .com domains. Make a .com name with us.
And welcome back to the Outback Bowl in Tampa, Florida. Terrific way to begin this college football new year. The first game of 2008 has been very entertaining and closely contested. Here's a big third down now. 3rd and 15 for Tennessee. At the Wisconsin 45, the Vols lead by 4. They do keep it on the ground. Arian Foster breaks the tackle, then gets pulled down by Shane Carter or Jay Valai. And they use the timeout. Minute 32 to go. Big East basketball, Cincinnati and Louisville. A great rivalry game coming up next as soon as we're finished here in Tampa.
Good stop. Valai has done a nice job stepping in, making some key impact plays.
Time now for our sharp Aquas HD image of the game. I think it's an image that'll stick in our minds for a while. Tyler Donovan getting belted over and over again. At one point in the game, it looked like he had suffered a serious knee injury and came back and continued playing. He has fought valiantly. We'll see if he and the Badgers have any heroics left when they get the ball back here with no timeouts.
Yeah, both teams have fought. Remember, it's a 4-point game, obviously, so it's 6 or nothing for the Badgers. And with Tennessee with that big 4-down stand down in their red zone was huge in the 4th quarter after giving up the 50-yarder to P.J. Hill.
He passed on a field goal in 4th and 2 that would have made it a 1-point game when all they would have needed here is a field goal. And they went to a pass play on 4th down and 2. It fell incomplete when Mayo hammered Donovan. Pooch punt and a good one by Colquitt. Where are they going to mark it? The Tennessee fans want that official to stop. And Tom Beller stopped at the 12-yard line. 28-yard punt. Here's Reese.
Sean, this is a Midway Home Entertainment Studio update. Capital One Bowl, Michigan and Florida. Mike Hart, the senior, playing in his final game, going in for the touchdown that tied it for the Wolverines against the Gators. But Percy Harvin just ripped off a long run, and the Gators are right back in the red zone. Coming up as soon as we finish, Tennessee and Wisconsin, a little hoops. Big Derek Character and Louisville taking on the Bearcats. Tip 2:37 Eastern.
All right, Reese, thank you. Here, a minute 26 to go. No timeouts. Wisconsin needs to go all the way and score a touchdown if they're going to pull this one out. It's dumped off short to Kyle Jefferson, and the freshman is chopped out of bounds by fellow freshman Brent Vinson. Jefferson wisely went to the boundary. Well, that's just a 3-yard gain for Wisconsin.
Boy, Tyler Donovan, your 5th year, 1st year starting. 119. This is like growing up in Wisconsin in the fields, man, playing the game. Can you lead the Badgers to an unlikely victory with your back against the wall? The story is set. How's it going to finish?
That was his dream. He says he can remember about age 5 or 6 listening to Badger games on the radio. When he finally went to Camp Randall Stadium, he knew he wanted to be the quarterback for the Badgers. In his last game, trying to lead them to a dramatic victory. The pass incomplete. In traffic, Nevin McKenzie and Ryan Carl knocked it away from Travis Beckham.
Boy, McKenzie was sitting and eyeballing Beckham the whole way. Kind of trying to bait Tyler Donovan and almost made a great play. Got 2 hands on the ball, but they high-load him. They put McKenzie, the linebacker, underneath with the safety over the top. Beckham is going to be a non-factor this game unless something changes in the last 114.
Give John Chavis and the coaching staff credit, and the defensive players. They've done a very good job taking away Beckham. He's wide to the right as Donovan drops on 3rd and 7, completes it. 1st down. Garrett Graham, good run after the catch. They swung him down, but he went forward to the 36-yard line. Stopped the clock to move the chains. 1:06 to go. 21 yards on the completion.
Brett Bielema was talking high praise about Garrett Graham. He's kind of been the go-to guy for Tyler today.
And now the clock runs. On their own 36. Still 64 yards to go. A field goal does them no good. Graham again. And he's short of the 1st down. And that hurts them because the clock goes tick, tick, tick. Nevin McKenzie made the tackle. 2nd down and less than a yard. 45 seconds to go.
We'll get a measurement.
Now the Tennessee coaching staff is irate. Why have they stopped the clock? Philip Fulmer wants to go. They gave him a first down. Well, he never got to that first down marker.
And Brett's saying, well, if you got the first down, then the clock should have stopped about 6 seconds ago.
And they're both mad. That's what the officials are going to talk about. I did not think he got anywhere near the yellow line.
So they give him the forward progress.
And he's down. Almost took a late hit as well, but the defender flew over. But they did give him a good mark. They marked it almost at the 46-yard line, which would at least make it.
Brett Bielema won that argument, resetting the game clock, giving him a few more seconds.
No, they didn't. They said we're going to keep it on 46. That's why he was upset. And now they're going to review the previous play, which is probably the right thing to do. I mean, it's too bad. This has been a pretty well officiated game. And they just got the replay review right. But it is deteriorating a bit here in the critical closing seconds.
Well, the only thing I can think of is they spotted the ball and gave him his forward progress of the contact, but it looked like he almost broke that tackle and he was fighting to get to the first down.
They're going to look at where the ball was placed, and I think maybe they could also review what the time situation should be. I mean, if it was a first down, they should have stopped the clock sooner, I think, to move the chains and given Wisconsin a bit more time. And that's what Brett Bielema seemed to be arguing about on the sideline.
I think you got a point, and that's what review will provide them. Been a well-played football game, regardless of the outcome. Both teams have played hard and played with great effort, representing their universities well.
The replay review has ended. Here comes the referee, Scott Novak.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed with the spot and the time on the game clock. The clock will remain at 46 seconds.
And it is a first down. They gave Graham the forward progress when he first caught the ball, apparently, even though when he got tackled, it looked like he was about a full yard shy of that 46-yard line. And Philip Fulmer says, wind the clock. It was a first down. The chains are set. The clock should be running. 40 seconds to go. Donovan throws, caught, and then Beckham takes a hit out of bounds. Are they going to throw a flag on that? The Badger sideline wanted it. They're not going to get it. The ball to the 41-yard line. D'Angelo Willingham with a hit, 13 yards.
Well, right here, a good job by Beckham being patient, and Tyler Donovan being patient and letting it open, dropping it over the linebacker underneath the corner.
Oh, my goodness.
I think it's a fine call. I think you let that one go. He doesn't give him a nasty blow. He touches him, and he was...
You can't hit him at all, Chris. 2 yards out of bounds.
His feet were in the air before he left out of bounds, before he landed out of bounds.
Now flags thrown. Both sides want the penalty in their favor here. That was Beckham's second reception, so he ties Lee Evans' Wisconsin single-season reception record.
On the defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty.
75 catches for Beckham. It was Ayers who was offside. 38 seconds to go. 36-yard line. 1st and 5. No timeouts for Wisconsin. 2 for Tennessee.
Good discipline by the Wisconsin Badgers holding their water, and Tyler Donovan going on 2. Nice little changeup in crucial situations.
Zach Brown, the running back. Four-man rush. One came off the edge. Deep ball. It is intercepted. Antonio Wardlow, a backup safety. Sophomore from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, picked off a pass intended for Paul Hubbard, and that should do it for Tennessee.
Great job of discipline by Wardlow, not getting nosy, playing outside. The Paul Hubbard saw him coming, not panicking. And the only thing, if I'm Tyler, what I would have done is kind of undercut this throw. You see the safety over the top. You have a little bit of room to underthrow it and let Hubbard work back to the football. Wardlow doing a good job staying in his back pedal so he can read the quarterback. And, of course, like all DBs should do it, and all DB coaches want you to do, catch the ball at his highest point. And I like this decision. Go down with the football. Don't try to make anything happen. You keep possession of the football. No timeouts from Wisconsin. Victory formation for the Volunteers.
First career interception for Antonio Wardlow, and what a time to get it. For the sophomore out of Winston-Salem. Donovan played valiantly. But in the end, it was Eric Ainge, Philip Fulmer, and the Volunteers who emerged victorious. Eric Ainge is our Capital One player of the game, 365 yards on 25 out of 43, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And a nice way to end his career, to bounce back after the difficulties in the SEC title game when he threw 2 costly fourth-quarter interceptions. Philip Fulmer now 8-7 all-time in bowl games, and he's with Rob.
Coach, a roller coaster season. How does this game say and talk about your team?
Unbelievable, and I'm so proud for these kids. I mean, they have fought and had great energy, you know, throughout the year to fight through the adversities, fight through the negativity, and you can come away with 10 wins in a game, a big game here today. I'm just really proud of them.
What has Eric Ainge meant to this program?
Eric's meant everything. You know, as a freshman, you know, he's compared to the greatest that's ever played at Tennessee, and Peyton Manning. And his struggles as a sophomore in the last 2 years has just been incredible. He's a true winner, and he's going to have a great future in pro football.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yes.
A resilient season for both teams. It ends in disappointment for Travis Beckham and an elation for Eric Ainge and the Volunteers. Final score here at the 2008 Outback Bowl is Tennessee 21 and Wisconsin 17. Coming up next, college basketball, Cincinnati versus Louisville. Now for Chris Spielman, Rob Stone, and our crew, I'm Sean McDonough saying so long and Happy New Year from Tampa, Florida. Now let's send you to Louisville, the Bearcats and the Cardinals. Here's Bob Wischusen.